what I'm gonna miss. So tell me why you don't feel like this. Where did you go? There's no time for this. So tell me why. I just
Yeah.
Turn nervous mode into hero mode with every delicious bite of Hershey's chocolate. Snap into Hershey's mode.
So why am I caught under waves? Drifting out, I wanted to be saved. So why do you? I bet you're just the same. Let's go. Let's see who swims best.
This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Six teams remain in the competition, and after today, we'll be down to our final four. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 13 of Valorant Champions, coming to you live from the Shrine Expo Hall in the Big Orange. I am Yingsu, your host, and on the desk today with me is Bren and Mimi. Now, due to severe weather here in Los Angeles, we unfortunately will not have a live audience today. We hope everyone stays safe and dry, and that you'll enjoy today's matches from wherever you are watching from home. Now, there's no audience here, but Mimi and Brent, we've got this, right? We can cheer for the players ourselves.
Yeah,
Brent's been teaching me about football hooliganism. I'm ready to
I know a
channel
lot
some
about
UK
football
energy.
chants. Yeah, I know a lot of them. I know the only one which is we lose every week. We lose every week.
We lose every week.
You're nothing special. We lose every week. So that might be applicable to some of the teams today.
I mean, looking at the bracket, who are you going to be whipping out the chants for?
I really don't want to be whipping
Let's
out the
not talk
chance
about that.
because
The nice chance, the nice
but
chance.
it's elimination. You know, this is going to be deciding our top four for the tournament. We want to take this serious. We want to be stoic on the desk. No joking around whatsoever. So we've planned absolutely 0 bits for the desk.
That
today.
is true. I did learn those chants, but I'm really prepared to just kindly golf clap anytime someone clutches.
Nice.
Yeah.
That one's ready. But the games today are going to be insane.
good.
We have so many good teams. Fnatic and Loud are down in the lower bracket. DRX and EDG are here too, trying to stay alive. And what's crazy is I feel like either of these games could go either way. It's so close.
I love how you guys are saying this, because the second Kong gets that 1v4, you know, and Aspas is flying around, you two are going to be on your feet. Yeah, you're going to be popping off. I can feel it. I can feel it. But that brings us to today's MasterCard fan poll. We want to know which team you want to make a run to the finals. I am not talking about who you think will do it. I want you to be as biased as humanly possible and tell us who you're rooting for, and scan the QR code on screen, and we'll have the results later in the show. As always, make sure you use the hashtags of Valorant Champions and VCT so we can feature you guys here on the broadcast. We're going to be seeing Fnatic a little bit later today, and I want you to guys to pay a close attention to their coach Mini, because if you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you'll know that Mini, he reacts when they are losing and he reacts when they are winning, and usually they are the same reactions. Just so you two know, this is not fun, okay? This is a serious segment.
Serious.
I want you to guys to seriously tell me as I show you a reaction from Mini. I want some deduction. I want some big brain
So we
plays.
need to tell.
And tell me if he's reacting to a
round
Fnatic.
win?
Yes, a round win or round lose. Okay, win or lose. Let's bring out the first
Surely
clip.
it should be pretty easy, right?
Well, pay close attention to Coach Mini here. What do you think is happening?
Instantly to the notebook before even reacting. So something tells me that this is a win, because to an extent he's like, okay, that's fine, we won that, that's ridiculous, but he has something that he wants to adjust for the future to do better.
Yeah, you're like deducting like a prime GeoGuessr player, or like just Sherlock Holmes.
I'm like that guy that can take a look at like one corner of a coffee and know your exact
and you know exactly. You can just tell he's looking at a notebook. I like that theory.
Any lip readers?
He's looking at. Oh, hold on. Can we play it again?
What is he saying? What is he saying?
I don't know how to lip read, but I can try.
I feel like if he's saying alpha
I think he
year
just
at
said,
any
"What
point, they won.
I'm not going to repeat
Let's
it.
stop lip reading.
Yeah,
All right,
no
all
more
right.
lip reading.
I mean, let's take
I
a
think
look.
that's a round loss.
Oh, you think it's a loss? Mimi's going for a
I
win.
think it's a win.
All right, let's take a look and see which one of you is right. One of you is going to be guaranteed to be correct here. This was on Lotus. Remember this, guys?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
2v1.
Oh.
And
They
there we go, we
won.
closed it out. But it was not clean. There was like 2 players peeking one by
that's
one
so
there.
funny.
Dirk is going and taking duels. It could have been cleaner. So understandable.
Yep.
Probably saw something in there that he was very unhappy about and wants to adjust. So write that
Sloppy
down.
gameplay.
It's because it wasn't a 5v1 that he's like, someone died in this round, therefore I'm going to mold. Let's move on to the next one and see if this was another winning round from Fnatic or losing. You guys did quite well there. Mimi, you did good. Brent, I'll start with you this time. What do you think?
into the distance like he's just seen something horrible. The
Yeah.
poor
Yeah,
guy.
here it is again.
He's haunted by something else.
I think that's
this
a loss
is a
again.
loss. I think this is a loss.
Okay, you're both going for a loss.
Yeah.
Right, let's reveal it and see if this was a justified reaction from Mini, and indeed if it was a Fnatic loss round. Of course, Mimi picked up the last point, and here we go on Ascent.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's just no way. It was
How is that?
round.
I mean, okay, that was also my reaction to Durka just opping a guy through a smoke after doing this.
But also, like, what was bad about that round? I mean, maybe we didn't see the bad
I mean,
elements of it.
Minnie's like your father, who you've never seen smile. You get a hug from him once after you win your big game, and it's the greatest moment of your life. The first affection you've ever seen.
I mean, he smiled when they did their on-stage celebration when Durka slapped him across the face, and he smiled at that. So maybe
That
that's
was his moment?
Maybe that's
Yeah.
what
He
he takes.
cracked.
Yeah,
So joy.
yeah. But yeah, that was a round win once again. And lastly,
again.
let's see if we're gonna get you guys gonna get this right this time around. Oh, this is a big reaction. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what? There was a follow-up. I can't lip read that, but he's saying please. I can tell he's saying please when he holds his head in his hands.
He's covering his eyes on this one, Mimi. He doesn't even want to look.
He can't see it. He can't believe what he's witnessing.
I think that's I'm gonna
Surely
go with,
this is a loss.
I'm gonna go with a win.
You
because I
think
feel like
production
it's-
is trolled and just showing
Yeah,
us
I think it's
3
all
wins in a row?
No, I'm not trying to metagame it with production showing 3 wins, but I think that when he's going please, it's like, guys, please stop swinging individually trying to win aim duels. That's what I'm reading from this
It's his
moment.
prayer to the great Church of Durka to stop
Guys,
stop taking 1v1s.
Please stop
Don't do it.
disrespecting our opponents.
All
We're
right.
gonna get punished eventually.
Okay, Mimi, you went for a loss, and
I think this is
Bren
finally a loss.
went
Yeah,
for a
I
win.
went for a
Let's reveal the results here and see what it was that Mini didn't want to have. Take a look at this. All right, okay.
Okay.
I think this was a win. Oh, I remember.
It is a win.
It
Yeah,
is
because
a
I
win.
was
But is
wondering
it-
why Alpha swung that as well. He was on 15 health and he's just wide
Yeah,
swinging
but was
the
your
dude.
reaction like that?
Yes, it was. I was
Yeah.
like, what is Alpha doing here? I mean, he's a goated player. He can aim.
Let's not get you
But
talking
look at
about
this.
Alpha here,
He's
Brett.
11 health and he's just, I'm going to swing this guy. He doesn't care. So yeah, round win then.
Yeah.
If I was Minnie, I would simply be joyous and happy when I saw that happen. I feel like there is a direct correlation though between the teams left at this point and how animated their coaches are. Alex is like popping off every time. Minnie is mad even when they're winning rounds. All of the coaches left just have the most insane
Hey,
reaction.
looking good
I would
for
say that
DRX.
Christine is pretty good. Christine gives us the best reactions when EG do something
You're onto something.
absolutely crazy. But we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, a debt must be paid. And of course, we got our first elimination match coming up, Loud versus EDG. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I'm going to ask you about a guarantee. Pick one of these games, guarantee that they happen and who the winner is, or I'm dressing you in a costume for the cast.
So if I select the finals, then when do I dress up in a costume for the cast?
Well, that's a good point. Next year, I suppose.
I've got the
he's found
loophole.
It has
I've
to be
got the
before the finals.
loophole.
Before the finals.
Okay, I will go with EDG. Guarantee the EDG win.
Guarantee the EDG win.
Yeah.
I am getting you dressed up, Sonny Jim. I'm getting you dressed
What
up.
am I wearing?
You'll have to see.
Well, isn't that the consequences of your own actions? Mimi, what do you think about this cosplay?
Why are you holding the pacifier like that?
I don't want to put it in my mouth entirely.
But it was already in
Kurt
your
cleaned it
mouth.
with like sanitizer. And then he washed it off. I don't want to put it
You
in
don't
my
look
mouth.
like a baby. You look like a babushka. like a grandma friend.
I'm looking forward to the memes and the edits on Twitter. I can't wait, guys. Make sure you use the hashtag Valorant Champions and show us your best attempt of making this into a meme. The slow zoom is killing me. But now we got that out of the way. Hope you're comfortable. Bren, you look great. We're gonna go into another game. Are you ready? Ready to play this one?
Yeah, I love games.
Yeah, me too. I love your predictions as well, Brad. They're always so on point. And speaking of things that you say that are on point, we call this segment Good Take, Bad Take. And this is how it's going to work. I'm going to show you guys some tweets and some takes from the Valorant community, pro players, and everyone else under the sun. And I want you guys to tell me whether you think this tweet is a good take or bad take. You ready, Mimi?
I can't.
You can't take your eyes off of this.
I can't focus.
Yeah,
what am
yeah.
I looking at? Okay. Let's play the game.
Let's play the game. Let's play the game. And we'll start with the first tweet. It is from the legendary North America IGL FNS.
Ooh.
And he said, Ethan might be the greatest flex. Is this a good take or a bad take? What do you guys think?
What does the baby think?
Incredible
agrees with me.
agree. I strongly agree with this.
Fantastic take from Phoenix, noted IGL. He's
Big
a very
agree.
smart mind, and this is a great take from him. Ethan is so good. His like KO flashes, I feel like, are the most impactful of like out of so many initiator players that I watch that are good. He sets his team up for success so well. On the fly, he's always ready to use a PC util, and he's also the best blue agent player in the world. Great Sage, great KO, great Yoru. He's got it all.
NA bias on the desk.
Yeah, I mean, if you start crying, that's a perfect
Exactly.
NA cosplay.
Perfect cosplay.
Yeah. Now, next take here, you guys are both in agreement here, is from our very own Dan Dryad here. She's got a tweet coming up right here, and I want you guys to tell me if you think that this is a good take or a bad take. Paper Rex playing Reyna, they are winning champs.
Sure, I'll agree with that.
Okay,
I like it.
me.
It's fun, it's whimsical. I was actually talking with Sean today about it, and it's like you need a team to be all in when they're playing the wacky comps like Paper X. You can't half-ass it. You got to be all in with the entirety of your team. They are all in. They love it. Something loves playing Reyna. It's excellency. I love it. They're gonna win champ.
I think Paper Rex is the thing here. Yeah.
Technically speaking, just because they play Reyna doesn't actually mean they're going to be a better team. It's more defined by how well they're going to perform for the
It's an
remainder of the
FPS
event and what
game.
they're going to do.
Shooty.
They're gonna get shot in the face.
Yep. Bren's right. I'm with him on this one. Let's take a look at our next take. That one you guys disagreed with. We're gonna have to get Mimi in a costume in a second. But let's hear from Ben Kai. VCT is slowly becoming WWE. West Golden Boy when you need him.
we need Golden Boy.
Yeah, with all these new heels.
One thing I have
showing
learned
up.
actually
I love it.
from GB is that heels are the bad guys in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
I
did
do know
teach me
that
that.
Yeah, me too.
Slowly, but I also know nothing about WWE, so I'm putting both these signs sideways because
I agree
I don't
with that. know,
maybe there are some bad guys in there.
If GB was here, he would agree with this take. So I will overrule it and say it was a good take. Just for
my
GB.
sign?
Just for GB, yes. GB, this is for you. I got your back. Yeah, I got your back. And finally, let's hear from Zekken.
I already
see.
strongly agree.
Oh,
Zeken's really
okay.
base.
There we go.
Wait, guys.
this?
Is that a Lunchable? I haven't seen that since like 2008.
I believe that is some pepperoni on some cheese.
Have you ever had a Lunchable, Stu?
I do not know what that is.
I don't-
Ejector. Ejector.
I've
You can't
never
be
had a
in it. You
Lunchable.
cannot be.
What is a
Neither of you can be
Lunchable?
the champions in North America. If
I've
you haven't
had it Uncrustable. That's great.
That's not
That
the same, and you
slaps.
didn't have that till you
What is
came
that
to America.
meal?
Okay, let me explain what a Lunchable is to you. It's a small package that comes with a variety of items in a low plastic thing, normally pretty cheap. It'll have like cold cut meats, it'll have crackers, cheese, things like that.
That sounds
And
great.
normally it's really like low quality and really cheap, but it was always a treat when you're in like 5th grade and you get to have it for lunch.
Perfect for you. There we go.
It
Well,
lo-
Well,
Were people wearing this in 5th grade? I don't think so.
We'll somehow for
so.
you guys. But apparently that was a bad take, Zek, and I'm very, very sorry.
Well, no, it's a fine take because Zekin is a 5th grader, so it's acceptable at that age.
Okay, we'll give it to you. But let's move on now to the first lower bracket match of the day. Of course, elimination time. It's Loud versus EDG. We've got a Masters Tokyo rematch. As you guys would remember, this is where EDG managed to knock Loud out of the tournament. And Brent, look how much this meant to this team and to Kong.
Yeah, I mean, this was the big moment where EDG finally kind of broke through their own barriers. A lot of the achievements that they made were fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I think that they have just been going from strength to strength. Obviously, you're in a difficult task today. This is the lower bracket run at Champs. It's the biggest event of the year. They want to be trying to, exceed the expectations they really set for themselves at Tokyo.
But this matchup has changed a lot since then. This was the tournament where Loud was struggling the most, I think, where they were on kind of a downward spiral, weren't looking quite up to form, and it was a good moment for EDG. I think it was the first match where people were like, okay, this is the moment where EDG is actually going to be a top contender at these global tournaments. But now it's EDG who's gone down to the lower bracket first, and it's a Loud team who, despite their loss yesterday, I think look in their best form since they won that Americas League.
I think you're spot on here. This is where when EDG won, we all started taking them really seriously as a team and having high expectations. Whereas for Loud, I think a lot of people felt like after they were knocked out, they're not as strong as we thought they were going to be. So the narratives have been flipped on its head today. But for more on EDG, let's send it over to Paperthin and get a quick word with their IGL Haodong.
All right, Haodong, if I could have a moment of your time, nice to see you. So you guys beat Loud in Tokyo Masters in a similar situation. You're going up against them again. They look a lot stronger here at Champions. What's the game plan coming into today?
你们在东京大师赛的时候，其实在败者组击败了 Loud， 那现在在冠军赛好像情景要再现一次了，这故事要重演。但是现在的话 ，Loud 看起来状态非常的好。那今天对战他们，你们大概的一个方针是怎样的呢？
我觉得虽然说他们看起来状态好吧，但是我觉得我们的状态会比他们更好。
Even though they look pretty strong right now, but I believe that our form is better than theirs.
Ooh, all right, strong words. All right, we'll send it back to you guys.
I mean, he believes in that. Brent, do you agree with him?
I couldn't actually hear what he was saying at the end.
He said that they're in good form, but he feels like EDG are actually in better form.
Better form. I think individually that might be the case as well. But one of the things that's been sailing Loud through, I think, has been some of those the discipline that they've been playing together. And it's a key win condition. I mean, we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. But I would definitely agree. I think individually, EDG are on fire right now. They are a team that is driven to perform on the big stage.
I actually think both these teams are pretty even in the individual form they're hitting right now, with players like Les and Ospas stepping up. But I do think Loud is in a better place strategically, where I would say as a team their form is stronger.
Yeah, of course, EDG, they got here by eliminating BLG, and a lot of them were really emotional about this because for them, they are the last hope of the Chinese region, and especially for Kong. Check out this clip from his post-match interview.
跟他们交手的时候心情很低落吧，因为我并不想亲手把自己的兄弟送掉，然后但是我们自己没有打好吧，然后这一场导致了现在这个原因，所以说我们会带着我们另外两支兄弟的那一份希望吧，继续往前走的。
Well, I was very upset when I was facing off against BLG today because I really don't want to eliminate them with my own hands. This is the least thing that I wanted to do. Also, it was our fault that we didn't play well in the previous matches. So coming to this point, I will definitely bring the hope of the R2 CN team and to move forward.
I mean, I've never seen a player reacting like this after a win, Mimi. Well, let's not forget, they won this elimination game, and you can tell how much it means to me to be able to carry on the legacy of the other players.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't really see that from any other regions when they eliminate their teams from the same region at home. But for Kong, it's clear that it was special for him that BLG could make that run, that multiple teams could really have that opportunity to represent his region, and sending one home was painful. But now I think they can channel that energy into not being sad, but instead into being like, hey, we're the last stand. We can make this happen for the team we've already had to eliminate.
Yeah, it's time to carry the torch on now as well for the entirety of your region. I think they feel that's their core as well, especially because you consider China as a region has had a late start in terms of the competitive circuit. And really, EDG have been the kind of trendsetters, the big brother team in the region in terms of that everybody's looking up to and following up on. And so, yeah, I think there's going to be feeling, that extra element moving forwards into the lower bracket for EDG here.
Yeah, of course, it's a familiar opponent as well. They played against Loud at Tokyo. And Brian, let's talk about the improvements of Loud, though, because this is not the same team we saw in Tokyo in terms of fundamentals and discipline.
So one of the most impressive things I thought about Loud during their match against PaperX was the fact that they were so tightly coordinated together in terms of not letting anything slip. Look at this instance here. They were constantly putting themselves in positions that they can get into high-low setups to punish individual plays and swings through smokes or whatever through moments, and they were really just letting no opportunities, no gaps in their play for a chance of the opponents, whoever they're placing, to really get through. And there were many, many instances of this where they're all tightly together. This moment here I had to pull as well, because I don't know how they ended up winning this scenario. It should never have been won, but again, insane fundamentals, insane shots as well, and individuality that really got them through that moment where they're just collected and corralled into the corner from the ultimates and the flank attempt. And I think this is one of the massive strengths for them as well heading into this series, because EDG have kind of been struggling with that discipline in terms of playing together. There's been a lot of that individuality from specific players, in particular Nobody as well. As an individual, he's been taking matters into his own hands a lot of the times as your initiator player. It's painful gameplay when I watch it, because he makes a lot of high-risk, low-reward plays across the board, and I'm just left wondering, how good could EDG be if Nobody did tighten it up a little bit? I think he's going to need to do so for this series.
And that's where the sharp contrast is, really, because when EDG beat Loud back at Tokyo, I think the biggest issue for Loud was that those fundamentals that are normally so good that you're talking about were really lacking. Loud was out of form, but here in Champions LA, it's more so been EDG where I'm seeing a lot of these mistakes come out. Like you're talking about with Nobody, it seems like in close matches, when we get to overtime, when we get to tight games, he feels a constant need to make a play, to go for an opening kill, to take a risk, and there's so many rounds where EDG ends up in a 4v5. Like, what's going on here where he's just pushing mid alone, dies to YZ. EDG so often have had to come back from a deficit because of these risks he's taking.
In the 4v5s as well. I mean, we have a graphic to show this in terms of the 4v5 win rates. They are put into that scenario basically ahead of almost every other team I believe that we've got here. Look at the sample size of this, man. I mean, they have over 100 rounds where they're in a 4v5 situation, and they're still near the top, honestly, just a few percentiles off away from Loud. This is a crazy win rate, to put it in context. Teams do not win this often in 4v5s, but EDG have been forced to play like this because they do have this high-risk, low-reward playstyle of a couple of individuals, and I just really need to see this cleaned up for the matchup here today against Loud, because I do think Loud are going to be the kind of team they're not going to let that slip. They are going to punish you if you try and go for plays like that.
I think the good side of it is that EDG is really good at quickly reacting. When Nobody goes for one of those strange plays, someone like Kong or Smoggy is normally so swift to take the space off his death, try and find that next pick and make the play to salvage rounds. My worry, though, is against Loud, a team whose fundamentals have been in such good form that it'll, instead of being, okay, Nobody makes a mistake, or someone else makes a mistake to get into 4v5, and then we make a play to equalize, it's instead someone makes that play, and then it's just snowballing out of control for EDG.
Yeah, and the way the Loud is playing, they're going to punish them, right? They know that EDG like to put themselves in these situations, so I can't wait to see what they got cooked up in preparation. And speaking of, let's check in with Loud and send it back to Paper Thin with Coach Fraud.
All right, we've got Loud coming in here. Fraud, a moment of your time, please. So this is a rematch for you guys from Masters Tokyo, but you guys are looking a lot stronger this time here at Champions. What's been the biggest change for you coming into this event?
I would say just really refocusing on ourselves. Sometimes we spend a little too much time studying our opponents, and we don't have enough time to really look inward about some of the things that we're doing, some of the things that we can improve on. So I think that's been our biggest focus, just really focusing on ourselves and kind of what's working, what's not, and trying to improve.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck today, man. Take care. All right. Well, we will send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Paperthin and Fraud. But this is the thing, right? I feel like them being able to focus on themselves a little bit is bringing them wins. It's working clearly. And Mimi, although I will say, anytime you feel like maybe overcooking, you know, that bind comp, some of the other stuff as well.
So I think there's a balance. I think early in the tournament, they were overcooking. I hated that Ascent comp, but the other stuff more recently, I've actually been happy about, right? This Pearl comp, I think people were criticizing them for it, but I think the idea might have been kind of an anti-Paper Rex strat to have that breach, to punish these facets, be able to play Flood retake stronger, which I thought was actually a pretty good idea. I also think that their bind comp has a lot of merit. When Loud was at their best, it was always because they were innovating. They were at the forefront, the first Harbor Viper team. You always have to take risks, and sometimes you'll look silly for it, but when your fundamentals are so good and you actually have solid ideas behind the comps, sometimes it will fail, but I think in the playoffs now, they found a pretty good balance.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. It's almost the Na'Vi effect as well, where the fundamentals of the players are so good that they just think the comp is good itself. Maybe we'll see them tighten it up as well. I'm not too sure. Like, if they ended up, you know, playing bind today and pulling out the triple controller, it might be a bit troll, but I could see when I was watching it back, I mean, they had some ideas on it.
Yeah, I think they did as well. But I also think that if they are going to get to this stage, they've already, I think, filtered out most of the comps that weren't working. That Ascent comp in particular, already out of the building. I think what they have now is likely what they'll stick to for the rest of the event. For instance, them also moving back to Harbor Viper on Haven. I think the group stage was their chance to experiment, be a little bit more weird, but I think Loud has found themselves again.
Yeah, well, not to mention these players, you know, some of them, they've won this trophy before. They've done this run. And of course, Les, I feel like, is a player that we talk about a lot. He was having a legacy game yesterday as well. But Chichu on the other side, Bren, is who I'm looking at because he's been extremely consistent for EDG.
Dead impressed with Chichu, I think, as well. Like, leading into the event, I thought he was going to be one of the top Sentinel players at the event that we've got, just in terms of how he plays. He's mad consistent, and he is up against that head-to-head of Les as well. You have two of the best Sentinel players in the event still, arguably, as well. I mean, lots of candidates for it, but these guys are going to be having a battle, and Les has been having just world-class games over and over and over again. It's been rare that he's had a drop-off in form in terms of his individual map performance. He's always carrying essentially the burden, almost deadlifting his team in some instances. You can just see it really in the numbers itself.
I mean, it's insane what Les has pulled off. I feel like he diffed Alphier in the Fnatic series. He then goes on and plays other great teams, is diffing them versus Paper X. I thought he was the best player in the server of that series for particularly those first two maps. They still end up losing, but this guy is in the form, if not better, he was in when Loud lifted the trophy in Champs Istanbul last year.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? They are set for defending their title from last year, which we have never seen before. The question is if they can do it. Do we feel like Loud are in that form right now? They can take down EDG
I think they're a scary
and go
team.
further?
Yeah, I genuinely think that they are in very good form right now where they can go on a championship run. This is one of the tightest events we've had in terms of competition between all the teams that we've got left. It's very difficult to call the winner when you consider as well that we've got some of the, you know, the heavy favorites in the lower brackets where one slip up, one mistake will cause you to exit, and you don't get the winners in terms of advantage when if you even make it to the grand finals. You don't get that advantage with the map vetoes.
In my mind, I think Loud is a pretty clear favorite today versus EDG, but EDG is a team that every time you underrate them, they come out, they show a series where it goes to overtime, where they push a team they shouldn't, so incredibly close. This team is fantastic in these high pressure, lower bracket situations, and I think that their style, even though Loud has played against it before, is crazy enough that those risks they take will oftentimes pay off, even against great teams like Loud.
Yeah, let's not forget, for EDG, they made history already this year by winning their first match, going as far as top 6. But if they win today, they're going to be setting another record for their region and for themselves as well. Earlier, we spoke to their IGL hold-on about their win over Bilibili and his desire to make it all the way to the Kia Forum.
其实我觉得 BLG 打的真的还算不错，但是反观我们自己的话，赛程当中其实还是出现了不少问题嘛。然后，我们回去之后一定会好好复盘，提醒自己该怎么调整。开心还是算开心的吧，但是今天的结果赛前应该我们也预设到了嘛，所以说没有特别喜出望外的开心。其实我的感受没有很深处吧，因为我觉得电子竞技它就是这样残酷的。然后我们把他们送走，希望他们回国再练一练，看有没有机会把我们也送走下一次。把今天的输给EG那一次的对战在我脑中把它删除，然后全力面对今天的比赛。
What's going on? No way, this doesn't seem right, but hold on!
transforming! Oh, he's absolutely destroying him!
在我心里肯定是我100%相信我的队友，相信康康，相信任何人。我觉得我们团队一定是高于他们的。首先，我肯定想赢下下一场比赛，然后去到新的一个场馆，我一定要体验一下这么震撼的场馆，然后电竞赛事吧。
It will be a tremendous deal for EDG. But what did you guys go for in the MasterCard fan poll? It seems like most of you want Fnatic to make a final. I'm not super surprised about this
I think that makes a ton of sense. The storyline will be sick. A lower bracket run all the way to the finals for Fnatic for a chance at a three-peat. I mean, they would literally make history that probably wouldn't get repeated in VCT history. I would safely say that. That is something that, honestly, is very hard to replicate.
Well, today, 4 teams will try to keep their lower bracket run alive and make it to the grand finals. It is Loud versus EDG, DRX versus Fnatic. Get ready because it's time to kick off day 13 of VALORANT Champions.
You do not want to be going down to the lowest.
They know how difficult that lower bracket is going to be.
比赛输了，然后我哥跟我打电话嘛，他跟我说，其实现在的输赢并不重要，就算是你赢了，你也只是侥幸的赢下了他们，而不是真正击败他们。
Então tem que se preocupar em ser, vou ser eliminado. Vai ter a mesma mentalidade que a gente teve desde esse campeonato. Jogar nosso jogo, continuar fazendo nossas coisas.
그래서 굉장히 아쉬웠는데 그 대회에서는 항상 떨어졌었거든요. 이번에야말로 꼭 가고 싶고.
他跟我说，当你不断的 push 自己，在赛场的时候，知道怎么去冷静下来，知道拿到人头优势该更稳定的时候。那个时候你才能够真正意义上的得到胜利嘛。
日本只是第一季，这是第二季。
然后如果说这一次能够淘汰Loud，我们进入了4强。
Vai ser jogo difícil, mas eu quero muito essa revanche.
It doesn't really affect us that we are in lower bracket. I think that's mainly from my experience, just to remain calm and chill, even in some bad moments.
이제는 코인이 1개 남았기 때문에 오늘 하지 못했던 걸 이제 저희가 이제 넘어서 사는 하나팀인 거네요. 그래도 저희는 그걸 졸지 않고 저희 게임을 해서 충분히 이겨볼 만하다고 생각합니다.
I remember watching Fnatic versus DRX match, but now it's different. Now I'm in this team.
Let's go.
One more.
Let's go. Let's see who swings best.
为了梦想，为了开心，为了家人，为了兄弟们。Vamos em busca desse cara. 한 명씩 맞죠? 저는 미니를 맡을게요.
상대로 올라가겠다 이건가 혹시?
야 전투를 측정이 안 돼. 얘는 보여준 게 없다고 카운터 받는다고.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Loud will be the higher seed because you dropped from upper bracket, so you get to choose Team A or Team B.
Team B.
Team B. So EDG, you will be Team A, and we'll start with your first ban.
First ban, Lotus.
Lotus, your ban.
Fracture.
Fracture, and map number 1.
Bind.
Bind, side on bind.
Defense.
Defense, okay, and map number 2.
Ascent.
Ascent, side on ascent.
Attack.
Okay, and next set of bans starting with EDG, you have Haven, Pearl, and Split.
Ban Pearl.
They ban Pearl. Your ban, you have Haven and Split.
Yeah, we ban Split.
Ban Split, so map number 3 will be Haven, EDG, side on Haven.
Attack.
Okay, and we'll run back through this. First set of bans, we have EDG with Lotus, allowed with Fracture. Map number 1 is Bind with Loud on defense. Map number 2 is Ascend with EDG on attack. Next set of bans were Pearl and Split. Map number 3 Decider is Haven with EDG on attack. All right, good luck to you both.
Have fun.
Edward Gaming. Loud.
This is for a shot at that top 4 for Loud, a chance to defend their title. But for EDG, it will be uncharted territory. But both teams didn't fight and claw their way just for their journey to end here.
They absolutely didn't. But last time we saw this match, it's where it ended. For Loud, it was the first big win for EDG, where people started to believe they were a contender at global tournaments. But Loud has come back so strong this event. They've had a great run in the playoffs thus far. They almost beat Paper X, but now they're down here in the lower bracket where EDG is so comfortable.
Yeah, they certainly are. I think Loud also, though, going to be drawing upon that veteran presence, that experience that they've got of being in a lot of these tournaments and really being able to potentially go on the run of things. I mean, they are looking large and in charge so far. I was speaking to Fraud as well when he was getting his makeup done. I was shocked because he was saying that they did about 4 hours of VOD reviews of just looking at, you know, some of their own stuff, of course, as well, but a lot of what EDG was running.
I mean, speaking of that stuff, let's talk about the map vetoes, because we are going to get Bind, Ascend, and Haven. So a possibility for the triple controller to come out, but also a possibility, Mimi and Brand, for some changes too. Maybe they don't fancy running that again.
Yeah, I think the biggest question is around Bind. With Loud showing a couple different compositions, in particular on Ascent, even if I didn't love it initially, I think it does make them a harder team to prepare for. And I actually thought that, talking about Bind specifically, that the composition they showed with that double controller had some good ideas, using the Omen one-ways and Paranoias for extremity control on both sides of the map, and having so much stall on defense or in your post plants. It's something I doubt EDG have really ever played or scrimed against.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say that. They do play in the China region. I mean, that region that goes through experimental phases a lot in terms of what comps they run. But I do think that Loud has also won the map veto. I kind of agree with your points that you're making. I think the Bind, they can showcase the triple controller if they want to. They can also go back to the chamber comp. So it's very hard to prep for that if EDG
they also just have a default raise comp as well.
Exactly. And I think Ascent and Haven leans more heavily as well in favor of Loud, I would say, on top of that. So a must-win, really, for EDG, I think, heading into Bind. And this comp is going to decide everything.
Well, let's find out now in the Prime Gaming Agent Select. They are going to stay with the triple controller, but Kong is whipping out the Reyna.
Whoever said Paper X is winning because they played Reyna, you got another contender right here. Kong locking it in for the first time for him at a global event. So this is very Paper X-esque. I think the biggest thing to look at is how they're going to be able to combine these Reyna Leers and Sky Flashes to create space and get into these sites. It's also, I think, could be pretty good against the Triple Initiator. Really powerful to be pushing through and abusing all these smokes that Loud will be putting down.
I mean, it's not just the first Reyna at a global event, it's first Reyna ever, Brent. He doesn't play a lot of agents.
Yeah, that is, I mean, he has tied my brain into a pretzel with that pick. I mean, I just cannot really make sense of it, of what they're going to be doing, if there's a weakness they've shown. But Loud playing the triple controller comp, it did look less practice when I was watching it back. I think that they have some ideas of how they want to play it. Significant stall, like you were mentioning, Mimi, on the defense side in particular. But there are things that you can counter-strat or you can actually pick apart. If EDG have done their homework, I think that they could exploit that and potentially get a win here today. But the Reyna has thrown me for a loop. I mean, I have a lot of faith in a team like PaperX to run the Reyna because they really do follow it up with pretty crucial ideas of combining the util, like the Leas and other breakable pieces of util. But EDG going to have that preparation behind it.
I think on defense, Loud's strength is going to have to come in Flood retaking, giving space to this Reyna Sky and then re-pushing back in together. And a lot of that will come down to Ospas. He was good in their upper bracket games, but he's been struggling on agents other than Jet. In the past, he was one of the world's best Raze players, and this is his chance to prove that he is again, this time against Smoggy, who's in great form.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Also, Kangkong, we know what he can do with the op. He loves to op, and he's going to be opping on that Reyna on Bind. So,
I mean, he's done it on Gecko before.
But this is the thing, like, where can Loud anticipate where he's going to be?
I mean, so I have a hot take that I think one of the best things that EDG could do is actually make Kangkang rifle predominantly for a map, because they are getting hard counter-stratted by teams we saw against Giants and PaperX when they played against them. They were counter-stratting and hard countering Kangkang's positioning with the operator and tracking the money. I would love for them to throw a bait and switch to save money, make sure that they can buy the operator, but just still lean into rifles and play around that to throw opponents' preparation off. I think that would be really sick to see if they do go through with it. And there's no better agent really to do that with rifling than Reyna.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also looking for the side of EDG towards that Sky player, Nobody, who has been making some interesting plays thus far in playoffs, giving away a lot of first duels. With this Reyna Sky Raze comp, his role is so important as that solo initiator. He's their only source of information. He's also the player who has to combine with the Reyna to get his way into sites. If he's continuing down the path of going for crazy first kills all the time, I think that could make this composition fall apart.
Yeah, I can't wait to see if he's going to dismiss out of there the way that Something does, you know, just constantly over and over again. But Brent, you mentioned that Frod was saying they watched a lot of VODs of EDG. They've been prepping, but the thing is, EDG, they have technically had an extra day because they played a little bit earlier, so maybe they spent time trying to cook up something like this. How much is this going to throw the Loud preparation off, do you think?
I think it will to a certain degree as well, because you have to play around, for one, Kangkang's operator. Again, I'll repeat what I was saying. Giants and then PaperX, they played around it really well. When Giants were playing against them on Split, they were always using util to clear the common angles that he loved to play on. And when PaperX were playing on Fracture, they were always poking holes in terms of where he wasn't playing and exploiting that all the time with contact plays. I would love to see them lean more heavily into a bit of rifling, because Kangkang, listen, the op is flashy. He's one of the best operators, I think, at this event, if not the best. But if you can throw off preparation in some way or form by changing up the expected outcomes of how you're playing, it can really throw a team like Loud off. On Bind as well, when they're playing this triple controller, and in my opinion, it didn't look as fleshed out. Yes, it had some cool ideas behind it, but it wasn't as concrete compared to some of the other comps that they were playing.
I do think, though, that Loud should be ready for this composition, because PaperX also plays a Reyna Sky on this map, and they just had to prep for PaperX last night. I think they should be ready for some of the main ideas behind this comp, but the question is whether EDG will have a different idea cooked up that PaperX would have.
Well, thank you very much, you guys, for hanging with me here. The agents are locked in. Of course, the Reyna is locked in, and we're ready for our first map. I can't wait to see what your casters make of this. Over to you, Doug and Sean Gers.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. It's actually really interesting, Sean, that we're in this situation where, due to weather circumstances, the crowd is empty, but it almost adds an extra, like, eerie tension to the entire event.
You can feel the pressure from when the players walked in. They're actually trying to make the hype. They're trying to bring each other up. And what an insane pick this is. Picking Bind, picking into a Reyna now, off of the chamber that we saw previously. A lot of A control was gathered by Kangkong earlier on in their Bind games. And I think he's going to still do that. I think the Lears are going to be really active in pushing short A, coming out long B, and really punishing these controllers that often don't want to take these early fights.
They're not going to have much of a choice. Edward Gaming starting off on the attacking side, and you see a bit of a lean towards A short already. And you have most of the controllers, I mean, 2/3 of them, are playing right in the same space, Sean.
Yeah, look at the little trap set up here by Loud. They're going to triple play on short A. Nobody's flash goes into showers to clear it. So the one way that Sadak threw in showers is worthless right now. And you can see right now, they're just sniffing out the map, trying to get a feel for what Loud is trying to accomplish with their defensive setup.
Yeah, it's actually such a benefit. We just saw Tui's refresh that smoke. And that's one of the benefits of running a triple controller comp, is that you can invest those early and know that you still have control elsewhere. Now a second smoke used towards Showers. You see the nade out as Kawanzin has to take a slight step back. Still no commitment. Dude, they drew that out so well.
Out, and now Shorty is wide open. Kong gets a free sight. Nobody right behind him. This is going to be a very, very difficult retake right now for Loud, Doug.
Also really surprising. I mean, you seldom see a team of Loud's caliber get manipulated the way that they just did. And you've already got Kong who's pushing up in spawn. Howdong gets a spike down. Nobody's there to help. That flash is going to be huge, but is the timing right? Are they going to peek on the other side of it? Yes, they are. A couple of kills going in favor of Loud, though. That's massive. They're going to continue to push forward into pipes as well. Just Chichu and Howdong remain. Can they hold the line? Can they keep the spike up? Howdong has done well as he gets 2, leaving things in a 1v2. Chichu by himself, and he has been a fiend this tournament. But Tui's with 3, and Loud get the pistol.
And they're going to give that defuse over to Tui's, Doug. That's 4 orbs for the Brimstone on a very, very unlikely retake. Maybe a bit of overheat into spawn right there coming out of EDG.
So early, too. You make a really good point. For him to be more than halfway to his orbital strike in round 2 is just dumb.
I think that's one of the best ults available to this team right now. So, yeah, having 4 orbs going into this potential eco round right here, and I say potential because having a Reyna that can flip the script here, I think this is a very winnable round for EDG.
2 Sheriffs on their side, and then just Classics the rest of the way. No armor with it either.
Again, the stall coming out of these controllers at the A site. This was something Na'Vi struggled with early on in the game against Loud. But there's the Reyna already at 150 with the Sheriff. And that's what I was saying. I don't think these controllers want to fight in this A site. The goal is to stall, stall, stall. And that's why I love the Reyna pick. I can tell they're going to totally disrespect these smokes.
Kong is already up to his antics. There have been so many discussions around him individually and how he has really high highs, but he's had some low lows this tournament. I think for this series in particular, he has to play well.
Very powerful setup entering this stage of the round here, Doug. They have long B control, and if you notice, the solo initiator is lurking by the Showers TP. Nobody frequently has lurked on all of the maps, but if they feel like there's a B stack going on, they will pivot to Nobody. Nobody's sniffing things out right now, and there's the rotate.
What was the cue, though? I don't know what they saw, but Loud decide to slowly start to rotate over, not fully convinced of what's happening on the other side, and look at how far up Aspas is. Oh my goodness, he's behind them.
30 seconds left.
They're going to get the spike down, but if there's no awareness of what's happening in Showers, they could be in some trouble. Howdong's going to be the first to peek. Nothing but a classic.
Oh,
what?
No. And Chichu is on the Giga Lurk right now, Doug. This is a nightmare for Loud.
I still don't fully understand how we got that kill. Kong pushing forward is going to clean up Kawanzin. They're going to draw out the orbital strike. Les gets it to half, but it doesn't matter. And I love the investment of the ult that early because you know you still have so much half to play for. You're going to get another one up.
How insane. We were talking about Tui's orbital strike, and Howdong is the one that ends up popping it on the second round after losing the pistol. Oh, ridiculous round coming out of EDG with very, very minimal investment.
Such a good opener. Kong getting 2 kills, actually a third once he's upgraded to the Spectre. That's huge.
Okay.
And going into this round now, they have a huge economic advantage. They're going to try to punish this B site. They use the same thing against Billy, the stim peek on long, dry peeking this.
They're going to try to go fast off of this. Amali's going to keep him back for just a moment.
Oh, they're sending it.
And it's just pistols on the other side, too. Very reminiscent of the previous round. But they've all rotated so quickly, Sean. Loud's already here, and they don't have hookah control. That paranoia, Smoggy's going to have to delay for just a moment as Howdong getting first. Kawanzin getting bested. Those pistols are just not enough in that situation. A Prime Gaming Flawless comes through for EDG.
Can you believe that a flawless round just now went in EDG's favor? Even though the score is 1-2 right now, Doug, I feel like they've strategically won all 3 of these rounds so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. To go back to the pistol, I mean the opening of the pistol.
Yes. Loud has been outplayed in all 3 of these rounds thus far, but you could see the goals of this Omen there. You could see the smoke coming in front of the site that allows the defenders to flood out in. That doesn't matter if you get shot in the head.
Right, yeah.
As one of the analysts has famously said. Ooh, that's a nice one-way right there coming out of Sadak on short. Again, just trying to stall out this A site. We have a smoke by Showers from the Brimstone. Aspas manning that area of the map. eventually I'm sure nobody's going to use some util, sniff out showers, and that's when, again, you know, they're going to go into this split on A most likely.
Deep flash out, Konkon getting another kill, but the peak, the re-aggress from Tui's gets the best of them.
And just now, what happened on the B side of the map, Kawanzin threw a guiding light down. It actually caught Chichu. So they're aware of someone being down low B.
I really like what they just did with the Trailblazer, though. Sense it through Teleporter to catch, make sure there's someone playing showers, too. They just got a lot of info.
I don't think it matters, Doug. They're too late. Two people are stuck right now in you, and they just got to hold this down. They're stuck.
A flashback sight. They're starting to feel some of the pressure. That orbital strike now coming online. How Dong, are you going to be able to get out? No. Tui's got some Chichu and nobody, the only two that remain. In a 2v4. What a miracle this would be. Nobody's gotten them just a little bit closer. Chichu still playing his life, still being cautious about it, playing U-Haul. The spam through, nobody not able to connect. It's all on a Chichu, a 1v3 with nothing but a Spectre. And maybe he plays time, but he has no mollies. He's got some utility, but they're just going to hold it. Really, no reason not to. Tui's gets it to half. As the wall goes down, Chichu gets it to just one. Tui's holds it a fuse, and we're tied at 2 apiece.
Huge hold on that A side by Aspas and Tui's. So much pressure coming in. It was a 4-on-2. The extra players coming from B, stuck behind 2 Brim Smokes from Spawn and Heaven. And they did it. The orbital strike again comes in huge. That ult will have tons of value throughout this game, and the 2 used so far already in 4 rounds have won their rounds respectively.
See what the buy looks like here. Konkon has an op. He is invested. Reyna attacks that. Oh, he sold it. I've been trolled for just a little bit.
Looks like for the first time, Hong Kong wants to get some showers control. So they're going to try to disrespect this Brim Smoke over here. And this is something I kind of figured they would go for.
The question is, do Loud pounce?
Great counter molly right there from Tui's. I think EDG realized that a lot of these rounds previously, there was no one behind that smoke. This was the perfect adjustment round for Loud.
Tayo naman shotgun kayo dyan, B.
We've seen Sadok tear people up with this judge.
What are you up to here? The dog's gonna clear him. Oh. Not much more info found though.
Les here holding hookah, about to make contact.
He just got obliterated. 18 HP. And yeah, Kawanzin's there to heal, but they're starting to feel that pressure. They realize that that's where the hit is coming. Can Loud rotate quickly enough?
Les is stalling out the long push on the hit, but it's heavy through hookah. 4 players coming out of hookah right now.
Right here.
Pax against Rose. Can they hold on? They really have no choice but to play life. You see that Lear come through the wall from hookah, getting first.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
3 kills for the controller, and he continues to light up the stats.
Pag natalo ba Loud, tanggal na or ano?
Hindi. Laglagan na.
EDG was spiked down. Well out of reach in a 2v3.
Ano yung nakaka-stress sa Loud to, no? Pagkataas ng game kahapon, game agad nila.
There's swing. Aspas gets best of him. 13 seconds left, and it all falls on to
Ako,
Chichu.
Aspas, balikan labi.
Ang bigat ni Sadok.
Oh my god!
Massive play to get EDG the lead.
The 2 Vipers now.
Galing mag-lurk nun, kanina ba yun?
Hindi mabigat si Sadok. Mabigat si Sadok.
Yung space talaga ng ano Walden from Ho kanina.
But Chichu was not on the opposing team in that game, and this was an insane play that was totally unread by Loud.
Ba mga Viper ano ngayon, Viper diff ngayon mga nagalaban
Nice swing.
Sino yung last na dumuwi? Si Aspas?
Aspas.
Instead of the Viper starting by short A, the way EDG plays this is they use their poison orb to block vision from the
Salamat
defenders.
kayo, wala si
Essentially
Ike,
wash
yung
out
marahin.
the smokes
Andito
on
pala
this
si
region
Song.
of the map.
Song, nilalait
Chichu
si
controls it
Aspas.
very, very well.
Ang tanga ni Aspas, B. Pati ni Sadok. Ay, Sadok ang bigat, B.
Layo ng bala niya una, no?
Ang layo, B. Umabot ng fracture. Kaya na yun eh. 2v1 yun
A couple rounds ago, now in the hands of Konkon.
He's just got to contact this. I don't know if Loud's going to read this. This is a very
Sabog mo ka.
difficult read.
Patay ka dyan.
Oh no!
Maybe some suspicion.
Nice one ka!
A clean snap up from Konkon. And the Lyra too, and that's going to draw the rotates.
Oh, they're going to pop here.
Yeah, EDG are not in a position to flip the map. Sonic has to go aggressive here with the Bucky and try to catch a free one through the smoke. You've got the mollies, you've got everything to delay.
Nice
and
one.
Sonic pounces
Yan.
on it.
Nice one sa dock.
Upgrade to weapon, but clothesline by Chicho on the other side.
Nice one, Aspas.
Middle from Aspas as well. Maybe 341
taas ng
HP.
aim.
And you hear the rain ult has been used. Is it going to matter? Aspas with the first, not able to clean up the second as Chichu counters.
Again, that's going to slow things down a little bit right here. The spike getting planted by Concon.
Counting is so far away too, and he has nothing but a ghost, Sean.
Si Sky may ult ni Sky.
It's one flash.
Oy, gago.
Counter pit.
Yun na, counter
I was
ult.
wondering if it would come out, and here it is. Flip a coin, Doug. It's time.
Can Cowan's upgrade a weapon?
Sabog PC.
FPS na computer.
What utility do they have? A flash for this guy? Confidence pushing forward, though. Of course he is. And we wouldn't have it any other way. 2 Vipers left. Chichu and less. Chichu's so far back. Les just has to take a gamble.
Oy, binigay.
Baril!
He's pushing him! Is he gonna have enough time for the defuse? I think he is. I think he's gonna be just fine.
It's so close.
Oh my gosh!
Oy,
Oh my gosh!
gosh!
Chichu, what a play!
What a play by Chichu. Just milliseconds away from Loud. Actually ends up in such a strong situation in this game.
Okay lang, mapa na
And
ano.
the timeout comes in from Rod.
EDG. Oo.
How close was that?
0.15.
0.15.
Ganyan din sa Sada kahapon eh. 0.38, di ba?
It's pretty freaking close.
Bida-bida.
Really doesn't get much closer than that.
Hawak nun. Panyo.
You can see it. I think
Pang
after
ano,
a round like that,
pandasal.
pushing Loud right now, Rod,
Sa
he just needs a breather.
pagpasmahan
The
ko.
rounds are just slipping out of their fingers. They're making decent adjustments now throughout this game so far. But you don't want the wind out of your sails this early into the half. This is a very pivotal timeout.
Ano ba to? First, ano
Loud,
pa lang
they
ba to?
will
First
have a
map?
bye
First
coming
map.
out of this, but it's not the best.
Yeah, it's gonna be spotty.
Next
for
map,
sure.
Ascente.
I think on the other side for EDG,
Paborito ng
they're
Loud
doing so
Ascente.
many things well that are just working. We've talked a little bit about the
Si ano
challenge
yan?
pressure, so they've been able to create some space around that.
Ayun si
Concon on
Sadak
the
eh.
arena has found value. The attack
Si
side
Sadak,
odds
si
is already
Ambog yun
Ayun
eh,
sila,
yung-
so yun nasa kanan.
But Chichu, man.
Sa
Chichu's just been an absolute menace.
Nanonood.
I truly believe he's been the star player, actually. When watching EDG throughout this tournament,
Kinakabahan pa kayo
Chichu
na
has had
din
some
nanonood.
monstrous clips for this team.
May leak na ng bagong ano.
We really should be looking out for this round is because Hadong
Bagong
taking this orbital strike. Does
bundle.
Kawanzin get Seekers?
Ano?
Those are really pivotal plays right now in this particular round.
Twitter.
Anong
The
bundle?
fight for showers begins here. This is the
Para siya yung
adjustment from
pinakaunang
Loud coming
bundle
in.
eh.
They're gonna get a smoke
Nung
from
beta.
Sadak and the Brimstone
Ito,
and
send
the
ko sa...
Raze. Aspas and Tuis will
Libre?
challenge this
Libreng
order.
bundle?
Hindi. May bayad din.
Kala ko.
The odd thing is, it's neither of them who are
Sino
super
yun?
keen on getting the orb. They just want to deny it
eh.
from EDG.
You can almost feel the fear right
Ito
there.
dito sa
One
Taralaro.
flash causes the Brimstone Molly to come out. That doesn't normally happen when you watch Loud, Doug. They normally sit on that Brim Molly. That's a super important stall piece of utility, but they don't know what EDG is going to go for. They believe EDG to be
Jenny.
very, very aggressive team. And they're right.
The flash
labas.
from
Ay, ang
County down
ganda.
long is going to get some info.
Ay, hindi. Pangit pala.
To fill the
Di ba
void
mo
with lack of
i-upgrade
information.
pa?
Oo, malay mo may finisher.
Like they're about to pounce on the
Meron
inside
yun.
right now. Aspas is rotating. He just used a satchel to get here quick enough.
Lakas
He's
maka
got to be
ano na
convinced of what's happening on the other side because they ulted as well. Sada canceled it out, goes all the way to the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Chichu just died on the other side. They tried applying pressure from opposite sides of the map, and Loud's been able to hold it all back.
Nakakaloka ka sa Dak, wala ka na naambag
Rotate
eh.
right there from
Zero ka pa
Aspas.
rin.
You could see
Ay, may one
the
pala.
snake right on the
Side din eh.
ground over there by
Bigat eh.
Octagon absolutely stalled out the hit. And most
ang
importantly,
ulo.
Tui's
Sinasabi
won the
nila,
fight
yung
in
sinasabi
Showers.
ng Loud.
Yeah, that was enormous.
Bobo
They
yan.
could no
Kaya
longer
niya
take
yan.
that teleport and feel safe about it.
Nobody
Sasaksakin ka pa ata.
in a 1v3. He's got Spike in hand. We've had some outrageous moments. This might take
Sadak.
the cake if he manages to pull this off. He's going to have time to
Bobo
plan,
ni-
Sean.
Aspas? What the fuck?
It was just
Uy!
Aspas satchels forward. calls him on his bluff and drops no
Ganyan
money.
dapat mag-raise,
There was a
Giovanni.
window there where after he got that first
Giovanni,
kill,
ganyan
get the
mag-raise.
spike down, you've got a 1v2 and maybe you got a shot at
Hindi,
it.
dyan pala, ganyan.
Aspas becomes aggressive and cleans him up.
Ganyan naman ako mag-raise. Ganyan ka ba?
Oo. Paano kaya yung killjoy natin, B? Parang hindi ko lang
Layo-layo. May killjoy dyan? May killjoy dyan?
These are where the teams are trying to feel each out.
May killjoy dyan. Wala, di ba?
Wala.
Kang ano, mamaya. Viper, may Viper dyan. Viper ka, di ba? Brimstone, ikaw kayo may lineup
Aray.
Ayan o, si Jaja.
Aray.
Come through there, gets info.
Dyan.
Because if it gets nothing,
Saan nagbabiper?
he gets showers for free.
Viper main. Bakit?
This is definitely looking like a short A pop.
Kankan gets nothing but a sheriff here.
Orbital Strike is so crazy with the leers right now.
Ay, no, ganyan yung mga ano eh.
Pasok na.
So, ang deadly ng ganyang ano.
Gulo na. Low na si Kangkang. 1 HP na tira pa. May heal. Ah, fuck na ako.
They've crept up just a little bit, but they still don't have enough sight control to really commit to this. The Seeker's used by Kamantin as well.
They might push as these smokes go
Nice
down.
Is that the Q? Is that what they're waiting for? Too easy
Wala
to
na,
cleaned up
kabado
Chichu.
na naman yung EDG, natanggal yung Viper nila.
Kankan getting healed up.
Hindi,
Back to
basta andyan si
Viper,
Kangkang.
and it's just a
Okay na yan.
tap. But the longer they delay on this shot, I think this is going to become a problem. Les is on the flank. There's nothing to cover it or to clear it right now.
Les is sneaking around right now and marking it. He is potentially about to end this round.
Yeah, he very well may do it
Okay,
on his
battle
own.
of initiate.
There it
Ano
is.
pa
There's
ito?
the play. Howdong done. Dealt with. Obliterated. As Les gets the second swing on the third. And
Ganyan
it
mag-Viper
is
Joshua.
a prime
Hindi,
game
ganyan
for
mag-Viper Jaja.
Loud.
Nagpa-flank
So
sila. Tapos
patient.
nakaka-headshot.
Taps from
Si Loudless.
so mechanically gifted when you watch him. So
Initiator ako. Huwag mo kong
Vandal.
iaan.
And we get our first time out.
Kumuha ka ng notebook, sulat mo yung mga ginagawa niya para alam mo mabuti. Ini ba siya? Ay, Sentinel ba siya ngayon?
Right now. Which is just insane to see. He's so young.
Kunin mo yung
So
kanya, B,
good.
notebook ko.
Words on the streets coming
Try mo
into
rin
this,
yan,
dog,
B.
where
Hindi
that
yung
Les
pagtalon mo
and
namamatay ka.
just dropping bombs on people.
Satchel, ano ka.
And I
Para
think
kasi
the
something
fascinating
eh,
news is
kahapon.
translating. It's not, they're not just scrim demons. We're seeing
Para
it
kasi
in the
something
server. I
kahapon,
think I was
pagtalo
looking at the
namamatay.
stats for the entire tournament. What, top 5?
They are popping off. I mean,
It's just been mad.
very
Nobody ka
active
kahapon,
event
B.
in Tokyo from both of them. if I'm being honest.
Well, all of them, really.
Yung pag nag-uult siya, di mo
all of them.
namamatay
That
siya.
was an abysmal
Crazy.
event, given the
Ah, si Jing
standards
pala.
that I think
Oo,
we
puro shotgun pa.
have set for
Oh, yan.
previous
Dyan na
champions
dyan.
winners. America's winners.
It just seems like such a distant memory right now.
Yeah, that version of Loud is long gone. This new version looks reinvigorated, and I didn't know if they would be able to do it outside of Harbor Viper. They found some new solutions here. Triple controller on Bind. We've only even seen Harbor Viper on one map.
Nasaan
It's
na
even.
Mga coach
Which
sa
we
mata,
could
hindi ko
end up getting here.
nakakita.
Yeah.
Si Sadak na lang mabigat.
The decider, if we go the
Hindi nila
distance.
ng duel, B.
Mabigat talaga
Even
yan.
though things have gone so
Ano
far,
lang yan,
it's a
pang
very
IGL lang
high
yan. Yun ang yung role niya. Oo.
Really neither team willing to
Ah, siya
fall
ba yung
give
GL dito?
but an
Oo.
inch. You see that wall coming out?
Tayo, dapat
Oftentimes you'll see that
Brimstone
go
na lang
through
siya,
teleporter
siya
as energy a pioneer, but the fact that it's not going through teleporter tells me, Sean, that they want to continue to
Kung may
fight for Charles
mechanics
control
lang
and
ang
have
ano,
that
amin.
line.
Oh, but there's really no need though when you have 3 controllers, right? You got smokes for days. What's the point?
B,
But again, the
Dala,
Omen
di ba
one
tayo?
way comes in
B.
showers. The Brimsmoke comes deep short. And Les is over here just
B.
stalling out.
Dala mo, bilong.
You're gonna play loud. You better move at a slow pace.
Which is just so different.
Hindi pa nagko-commit ha, huwag kayo lumipat kagad.
Wow.
Giving away by the shoulder. What was that?
Ka, gago ka.
That was so close, and they're going to continue to aggress. They're going to try to take Octagon control. That nade in the last
Ayan na.
factory position,
Ayan
but
na.
they're finding one with the Marshall.
Gago si Ibing yun ah.
Kaya
Yung
nga.
mga baril.
It's a 3-on-3. This is so winnable for
3-on-3
EDG
naman
right
eh.
now. The rotate coming heavy through
Smoggy.
spawn.
And 2 weapons
Magaling mag-raise
upgraded.
din to eh.
And Chichu.
The timing that he's going to get.
What
Thing
is his
is,
play?
can they
Naku,
buy enough time for
kumbaga.
Chichu's timing to matter?
Hindi nagre-reload.
Spawn here? I
Apat
don't
na
know if he has
bala.
time for this.
Yeah, if they don't hold the site, it's not going to matter.
Oh,
You've got to be able to hold the site.
tumatakbo na sa likod niya yung
Sluggy's
daga.
already fallen. It's going to go on to nobody who's already weak. He's got the orbital strike in his lap.
Ako
He
po, ayan na.
drops.
This is a very difficult
Oy,
read,
late ka
though,
na.
Doug. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if Loud reads this.
But even if they don't, I mean,
Alam
it's a
na nila,
1v3 with a
daga
sheriff,
kami.
right?
Nakasmoke pa.
Really, really
Right? Okay.
Alam mo,
The
taga
fact
Bagal
that he
mo.
got 2-3 extra shots off on that last player. made me
Bagal
very
mo. Hindi kasi Loudless. Mabilis
For a
umikot.
second there, I forgot we were dealing with 3 controllers.
Ang nice nyo kay
And I forgot we were dealing with smart players. They like to throw their smokes on
Wala
top of the
naman
spike,
yung
which
D5.
is indeed
Okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Si Les, mamaya wala nang aim yan. Ganyan, di ba? Isang mapa lang ang aim
Look at
yan.
this again.
Ewan ko ba sa kill natin, di ba rin mag-plan?
Ewan ko ba sa Reyna natin? Hindi maging kangkang. Krung-krung eh, baliw
The way
eh.
that they're set up, I think we're starting to see some of their approach. Kangkang takes U-Haul.
Oh, ganun talaga, B. Reyna ko taga-post plan.
With the Lear of
May line-ups yun, B.
And if they can't get that space,
Yung blind niya bumapa.
Kangkang, he's busted out the off again. I don't know if this is going to work out well for him, though, because, again, we're seeing the double smokes on A. Bring smoke deep short, one-way Omen smoke showers, and Les will stall out long B with these snake bites.
Ay, yung magandang smoke eh, malalim.
Playing pitch and catch with the poison orb.
And also, I think countering that flash from Kawanzin. The flash wasn't deep enough. It got caught in the orb, and it didn't get any info.
A lot of pressure put on this B site right there, but it's all of They're trying to.
Oh no, it's the OP by Kangkang.
Rotated, and now we're looking at a potential 2-on-5 in this A site, Doug.
Kawanzin
just flashed again. It was so sige, i-pick nyo talaga, mamamatay talaga kayo dyan, B.
Hindi ka nag-jet man lang.
Oh, it seems to have been enough.
First time nga mag-ano ni Kangkang eh, mag-raid.
Patay ka!
He doesn't miss
One controller down, 2 to go. Kangkang still the up, and 2 destroys Kangkang.
Uy, gago, sayang, di niya
They're gonna have to fight for showers control though. Oh gosh, Magi got caught asleep.
Ay, timing.
Hadron's ult and Brim Molly could be the biggest player in this round right now. Nobody needs this.
Uh-oh.
And he does it.
Where was he going? He was just so aggressive, pushing into the smoke. I don't understand. There's an orbital strike. It's gonna buy a little bit more time. But was it used too early?
The Brim Molly is already out of
It's missed. It's missed. Do they know though?
I don't think they've realized yet.
No, I don't think they did. Chichu pushing forward into the face of 2. Hadron trying to swing and he can't do anything about it. Aspas gets 3. The fuse comes through. Loud with a 2-round lead now.
Hindi. Sobrang kabado ni Brimstone, nag-light up sa gilid tumama.
You can feel it just slipping out of their arena right now. This is really taking a turn.
Nag-Brimstone
4
line
rounds in a row. What was it on the other side of the timeout?
Sino?
I think
Si John.
it's gone sideways.
Yeah. Scoreline. And the timeout came in from Fraud, and things really turned around at that point. Insane stuff. Another force by though coming out of EDG. They need this. Potentially get a 6-6 end.
Oh, fake teleport? From Sada?
Bawas ng pressure sa mga
Shrouded
muscles.
step.
Yeah, we haven't seen that tech in a while.
I like it. Twos though again keeping showers control. Deep smoke on short.
Tama yung wall lagi ng Viper.
Loud reading this round well.
Viper ulit.
Everyone from EDG is here. Yeah, it's a split.
Ino mo naman.
Ano mo?
Agawin nyo na lahat sa akin.
Ang ganda ng Viper wall nila, oh. Tingnan mo. Sa may ano, aim mo pa. Ay, ano.
Ako sa
Drops from the showstopper, not going to connect, but it does deal a little bit of damage now. Aspas still playing in the 10, dropping another. As nobody falls, the nade refresh, the kill comes through. Aspas with 3. Finally falls.
Yun lang nga pa. Atay ka. Mainit na siya, B. Atay.
2, he's candy 1v2. No, he cannot.
Ang bigat talaga ni Sadak, B.
Palitan niya na yan. Tagal pa yun ang inging leader na ano, may aim.
Hindi na kayo mag-leader, B.
Pivotal kills to keep them in this game.
Ay, share niyo, B. Sa Discord.
This is going to be really difficult because they've given up the side a couple times now.
Twitch TV Valorant.
Possible that UAG does enter these sides to get this fight down, and with the pit available and the Brim Molly, the Viper snake bites, this is something that can be stalled out for a very long time. One flash though on nobody right now.
Yeah, just didn't have enough really to go for more. There's that one flash. Oh, and it was a fake. It's just delayed. It buys a little bit of time.
Bulag, sabi niya, shit.
But he does have a sky heal. Heals Kangkang back up to 100 right here.
Deal.
And Smoggy one off of ult. Dude, they could give him this Showers orb. They could prioritize getting him an orb right now. But look at the setup from Loud. I don't think they've played this aggressive on long thus far.
Yeah, you're right, they haven't. Meanwhile, EDG have tested those waters so many times.
They're making the right play here, though, Doug. Pivoting back to this A site. They know they have shower control. They're aware of a potential TP play or re-clear of shower.
Ay, nakita!
Hindi siya nakita, hindi.
Enticing a bait play to happen.
Ay, patay mo yan!
Nag-whiff!
Ano, what a movement by Kangkang.
But it just ends up being an appetizer, just a taste.
Ayun na, B.
Meanwhile,
Ganda, kinakabahan na siya, B. Bobo yan. Sabi na, bobo yan.
And he's rotating through. It's going to be late.
Ay,
both of them
sadang.
sitting on the other side of the map just now. They're going to invest some hit out from Chichu as well. And that pit is going to become so much less effective.
Last round naman na. Hindi, last round ni.
Go Aspas.
39 HP, he drops less, heals up a little bit. Aspas with the op, upgraded to weapon.
Pakabilis ng
And this would be a
reaction
vintage
time.
Aspas round, Sean. If he can pull this off, satcheling forward, still has to deal with the pit. Nobody spotted on the other side, trying to deal with the targets, trying to find which one is right, and he cannot. Nobody with 3, and we're tied at 6.
Unbelievable end to this half, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Bigot ni Sadak ko. Be, habol ka.
Dead even.
VCT to, be.
We'll take a look at that round one more time, and the fact that Loud put together an unreal streak to get us to that
late na nga yung reaction time dun ng Sky eh. Parang nung
EDG who was in
dun eh.
control.
Yeah, they were in control in the early part of this game. Loud rallies back into it. EDG though close out the half with 2
Ganun ka
huge
maglaro,
gun
Song,
rounds.
no? Isa baba, yung kay Kang Kang.
Serious economy built.
Sa baba yung monitor.
Hindi ko kita yung mouse eh. Ay, di ko kita yung keyboard eh. Sana touchscreen na lang binili ko, B.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, this could not be any closer, 6-6 at the half. But let's take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment here. A whole round, in fact, that ended up Mimi with a massive Chichu clutch.
So I think this is really indicative of this game, where I feel like Loud had great control. It starts off by them using these smokes to hold on to short control and pull out a lot of this Sky Initiator utility that their comp is really good for. You also see here, there's that Brim smoke in the late round to help them flood into B. They have a lot of great ideas with this double controller comp that set them up to win this round. But with 10 seconds left, Chichu comes in, he wins this 1v2 and gets EDG back in control. And I feel like this is indicative of so much of this half, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, insane spray control from Chichu, but you're completely correct. It is essentially a mirror of what happened, I think, because Loud again came into this with solid ideas on how they wanted to play with the triple controller, but it came down to clutch big individual moments, players popping off, and that's what EDG have done to tie up essentially, make it as close as at this half, 6-6, despite the fact that I think Loud do have a slightly better game plan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree there. In the second half, though, I think things get interesting, because this is where I feel like it's a little bit harder to get use out of this triple controller. You can throw down Omen one ways for extremity control, you can stall out against retakes quite a lot, but I actually think this EDG comp, as it was in the first half, is really good for pushing deep in these late round situations and actually fighting through those smokes to flood retail.
Yeah, of course, the Reyna on the defense as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what EDG and Kong have cooked up for us. Without further ado, let's get back into game and the second half with your casters. Back to you, Doug and Sean.
Thank you so much, Into. Just a few moments away from kicking off the second half, tied at 6 apiece here on Bind. Loud put together an unreal streak there just to keep it competitive, Sean, because otherwise it felt like EDG was in full control.
It really did, and you know what? I don't think we have much time to talk about it right now, Doug, because I think we're about to see an absolute brawl at this A site. 3 defenders here from EDG, 5 ready to lurk up short A right now, potentially with this Viper wall.
Pasok talaga, sure pasok yung
Sure pasok yan, B. Counter util comes from EDG.
Smoke! How does he get away with that? He's got the chance for more, not able to connect though. Kong has shown up, he was at showers early on, the spike is still down, Smoggy reaggressing, taking the space that was left vacant. And EDG in firm control. Loud just crumble. I mean, you see it, their bodies are littered at the exit to A short. No traction found, no space gained. And Tui's just left to sit and wonder about what went wrong.
Look at the setup, 2 on contact, paint shells into showers. EDG really trying to secure this round, but Tui's...
Oh my gosh!
Tui's, you gonna pull this off? That was danger. Danger for just a moment. But when you're down so big in numbers, Sean, it's just so difficult to... you put yourself in a 1v4 like that. It's difficult to execute on.
Really is, and that is so big for a team like EDG to start halves well. It is massive. Getting the operator in Kong's hands, especially on this defensive half, has to be at the top of your priority list. He's already got the Marshall. I mean, he's going towards shower, and Doug, I think we're about to see a clip.
Well, remember, there was a flash at the beginning of the previous round for this exact spot.
One way at the
it's
corner.
A smoke. He's going. Oh my God. He disrespects it, bro.
What the?
Do it again. You know he wants
I mean, he might.
What the heck?
Unreal.
Diba, namatay si
Smoggy
Sadak na
taking
naman.
out the solo short A lurker. That leaves only 3 players left, all 3 right here in front of Kong.
Tough angle. One way subsides. It's a no-scope. There are 2 of them. What? Kong teeing off on Loud. Slaughtering goats like this is an old ritual.
Bounty next in line.
And of course, it's Kong. Who else? The 4K for him. EDG with the 2-round lead and an excellent start to the second half.
I really don't know the value of it, but I have seen something pop off with this Empress in this tournament. I think he's one of the only players I've seen pop off with the Empress. But it's pretty wild that Kong has this going into the bonus round right now.
I mean, we talked about in the first half how they were so close to having an orbital strike, but yeah,
Lo!
Empress takes a little bit less.
Nasapian na siya. Dasal ka muna.
What a performance out from Kong.
Huge disadvantage though on the guns here of this bonus. Despite having such a good eco round right there, you can see, yeah, it'll definitely be a difficult round here for EDG. Deep brim smoke, and that's you can afford to do that with this triple controller comp. They can afford to waste these smokes for map control. They're trying to get a reaction right now out of EDG, sniff out this setup, really figure out where they are. The Showers reaggress comes in, and Aspas is here with Sadak.
Does he have a Lear? He does, he has 2.
Hingi naman kasi, paanan Lola.
Sadak has smoked the end of Shower, just like how we saw Octagon.
Dude, Smoggy has an 8 as well. I mean, as soon as they sniff out, they've got to be careful. Yeah, Aspas, I guess maybe not liking what's happening, not convinced that it's safe, takes a step back. They're going to rotate back B.
Flash comes through the teleport. I don't even believe it popped, but you could see the idea right there. They were trying to get info outside of that teleporter, and they back off out of Showers. The rotate is coming to B, but I don't know if it'll be here quick enough. Howdong on the rotate right now has a molly to stall this out. Oh, this could be bad for Loud, dog.
So first molly already used. Chichu holding on to the second, and there it is. In the face of the paranoia and the nade, they have to take a step back. The delay on this has been so good, they can't easily make their way out. This bonus very well may work off because there's still so much utility for them to play around. 13 seconds left. The spike's still not out, and it's finally starting to gain some traction. You have the rifle advantage, but can you convert? Chichu with the sidestep, the classic, not connecting. Bonus EDG.
And with that buy, the stall on the B site coming in. Chichu's snake bites were incredible right there.
And honestly, I remember watching Kawanzin with the early flash just to clear Octagon, and I went, that's an audio cue.
Yes.
I mean, you have so much utility that you can use to delay this. I mean, you read that so well.
Pang Sao Paulo lang
I
sila.
think, you know, everyone has been a little bit critical of his util usage on this solo initiator. But right there, I think his guiding light made the play, right? It might not have even popped, but it really didn't matter. They still ended up rotating towards B. The idea was there.
Right back into the action, Loud with 5 sheriffs, just 1 player without armor, and that's Sadak. He's had some massive plays on this very map in this tournament. EDG are just playing in a different form right now.
Interesting idea by Nobody right there, not wanting to use any of his util early. I think he's waiting for this brim smoke to go down. Get some information in mid-round. Outside of Hookah, get some info. And that's going to make Hong Kong cheat a little bit over towards this B side. Showers control maintained firmly right now by EDG. I see Smoggy holding a super deep line.
What if kunin niyo yung spike, be?
Where do they go from here? Flash getting a little bit of info into Showers.
This definitely feels like it's heading towards this A site. And Kong again is making the right decision. 3rd player at this A site. Let's got that!
That's unreal. Smoggy with a really nice trade that we're going to have to see that on the replay. He repositions. That paranoia is going to cause some problems. He's got to push into the smoke, expecting Sacho there in the satchel. Oh my gosh, they walked right by each other. Smoggy had no idea, dealt with the assassination style. They've lost control of the site. They've lost control of this round.
This is a gorgeous post-plant setup. They have the crossfire from bench to default, the swing coming out of Showers.
I don't know how they get back into this. It just went from bad to worse.
I don't think they do, Doug. I think this is over.
Chichu 1v4, 2 rifles on the other side. Sure, Aspas is weak, but when you have no idea where he is, what are you going to do with it? A MasterCard thrifty for Loud as they punch back.
Ang ganda.
That's what I thought Loud is potentially out of this game.
Alam so, may sinasabi ka daw, ano, so.
B,
Aspas now
swerte lang sa
having a
doon.
showstopper.
Nakachamba lang sa doon. Tingnan mo.
This is going to be a
Oo,
wild round.
natalikod.
We have the Orbital Shrek on Halberd with the Empress up on Kong Kong.
Siya pa yung siya pa yung tumakastop ng nakaraan. Kaya ka pala talo ulit.
Catch someone off guard, and that's where the op is.
They're ready for it. That flash. Concom takes the line. But a second flash, but he's quiet with it.
So smart. To give away that the op is in play. And then jump spot. It's a bait. The way they set him up for these shots.
Bye.
In trouble here.
Can he connect?
Patay
Yes, he
ka.
can.
Big sa'yo eh.
Tui's again betrayed by just a pixel.
Dual naman yun. Try
Trying to
naman yun.
stabilize from here. You see Sonic is taking some space for showers, but what else can you find? The spike just now scooped up. Les creeping forward. You've got to go. Oh, he's gonna foul. He's gonna foul.
Nasasakay niya pa.
Even knife Smoggy once, but it just wasn't enough.
Naka-knife ang puto. Naka-knife ang puto. Nagkamali, B.
For Loud, I mean, this round just feels so labored.
Yung kainin mo yung blind.
Kainin mo, B. Hindi ko umilag.
It really hurt them losing Tui's like that. He has a really strong off angle, but that's the kind of stuff Kankai has been known to punish. So quick on the trigger.
Yeah,
30
seconds left.
This round's looking all but hopeless here for Loud. They're looking for a pick, but I don't know if EDG is going to even give it to them.
Oh, dire strangers. Counting drop. Oh no, what have you done, Sean? Counting with two massive kills. Nobody looking. Aspas out
Wala
of
ka
the
nang
sky.
gagawin namin. Pumatay ka na lang. Oh, ayan na. May
Gagawin mo,
na.
B. Na-plant na.
He's here by himself and he falls.
Plant mo na lang, te.
Rotations are coming through. Counting 15 HP.
Mo na lang.
6, the op is rotating.
Oh, just barely missing. Spike landed. Sunk into the soil of the site. Counting with 4. Chichu's gonna have to 1v2 this if he wants to pull this off. Counting 15 HP, the flash to take the line. Pull it off, yes he can! The ace for Loud! It looks so improbable!
Sadak,
15 HP on that last fight!
Taga-smoke lang ginawa niyo, B. Nakita mo yung ginawa niyo, B.
Up short, gets two picks, finds the Seekers, follows them for the third, takes out the fourth. That is an insane round from the young talent on Loud.
I mean, he was dropping on that first. I don't know how he destroyed nobody there the way that he did, but this right here, I mean, the freaking fadeaway. What a shot! What a play out of Loud!
Nice one.
Right after witnessing that ace come in, has to take the second time out for EDG. That is one that will definitely be a blow right to the gut.
Dikit ng
EDG, how do
laban.
they
Ayaw
bounce back
maghiwalay.
after that?
Parang score lang
They're
namin ni
really
AK
scraping at the
kahapon.
bottom of the barrel if they buy here.
It's mad, dude. Loud, and you know we've talked about this a little bit. I'm convinced that there's a little extra grit that ends up on a team when you make your way through Group D. Because Loud have had 2 instances now, just in this map, where we go, oh, Loud are done. Right? They're not going to be able to regain their footing. They're not going to be able to reestablish control, and they constantly just refuse to go away.
There's a reason why heart of a champion is a saying, and Loud. It doesn't matter that they have 2 new players. It does not matter. They have 0 quits in them. And when I watch them play, they almost never falter in these late game heroics. And the one exception was the lock-in finals. That was the only time that I have ever seen this team crumble in a big moment.
What a disaster that was. Historic.
Sadak, pa 2 digits ka, B.
Somehow still looking to fight to stay alive to defend their title. Previous champions winners.
Fight here in showers. I think
Makapag-ult?
try to just immediately get a pick.
Smoggy with the Marshall, but that one way wasn't wrong. You can't do the same thing right in a situation like that.
Pick up,
You can't dismiss out. Aspas is going aggressive. He's got the ult. He's paranoid. The ult lands onto Smoggy.
Still up in showers.
How is he still alive? Finally dealt with by Aspas. And EDG, now it's on them to crumble unless Chichu can pull off a 1v4 and get the spike defused.
9-9.
2 mollies are in hand. Kawantine a little aggressive here on the pop.
Wala pa pala. Wala pa pala.
Now you see the stack.
Three
members here.
Ano, B, pag nagdikit-dikit yan, tapos inatake, tingnan mo, collateral damage yan, tingnan mo.
Just thinking about it.
Grabe chamba nila. Cute daw, tingnan mo.
Ang cute to, B, lahat nakayoko. Lahat ganyan din tayo eh.
A huge rifle to save, and
Gano'n pag ganyan tayo, sisiyan tayo, mamatay tayo lahat.
O pag namatay tayo, ba't ka kasi nakayoko? Ganun.
to buy actually into this 19th round.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay.
I want to say
Saving
Smoggy might have had enough to... Yeah, he did. Okay, smart play by Smoggy right there. The reason why we saw the Marshall that last round, he saved money in the bank to get that operator onto Kong. That's definitely going to be a winning factor here. We saw him open up that previous 3
Paano mo palitan yung Japanese characters? Japanese yun eh, no?
Where's he going to go for this opening fight now?
Yung saan?
He wants to go fight. Historically, this is a very difficult fight to take in a pro match, but no one, I believe, is going to be there to take. Oh, he went late.
Ito kumain na naman ng bala.
Does the reaction come out loud? Les wants to go through this right now so bad.
Dude, they just invest in Seekers too. And every inch that Seekers takes away is just space that EDG is going to fill behind it. They've got him controlled. They've got him corralled. They have him in showers right now. They can't flip the map.
All of the info is in EDG's hands. And Chichu, I think it's on Chichu to not overstep right here, but Smoggy goes through short.
Passes less, gets the kill. And again, you still have to deal with the flank that Chichu's been on for what feels like an eternity. Timing is everything. Aspas falls, all attention turned towards short. And that's when Chichu strikes. You see him creeping forward. He's going to have to spike too. This is going to be the round, Sean.
I don't think Kawanzin has the eyes in the back of his head. He had a crazy 3. Oh, no!
Nice one!
What a disaster! As everything fumbles! Kong left alone in a 1v2 and all of a sudden, a breath of life for Loud.
30 seconds left.
Sakto. Apit ka.
360 yung ginawa niya dun, ha? Tangin na.
He's got to be quiet with it. He's got to be careful. He's got the element of surprise.
Kamuro, natakot
He's wise to it. He knows he's there. He's ready.
Hindi,
He's got to catch the swing.
The heal on the Reyna.
Grabe talaga. Bali yung
Seekers missed
kamay.
it too and look at the reposition out from Kawanzin.
No Lear's here.
Ako naikutan pa.
Kawanzin creeping
So
forward.
gifted.
Again,
So
quiet on the
ka,
approach.
patunayan mo kung sino ka. Ay!
Not a single sound made, and Kong's gonna stick at the hole.
Nice one.
Nakakakaba naman yun.
He got that!
Lapit na, B. Malapit nun.
That's insane!
Show me the bar!
That is an insane round again from Kawanzin, Doug. I cannot believe it. He might have 15 frags, but dear God, these are some of the biggest rounds of this map right now. I cannot
Pero
believe
kung tayo
how
natasok
stole
na
that
natin isa't
round.
isa. Tagal mo tayo sa lakad.
Shining light on short. And then this.
Oh my God! Where's the gap? I don't see it. There's no gap there.
You said it yesterday to me.
Okay lang, pero...
It's better to be lucky than good. I think Kawanzin has proved these both right now. That is insane.
I mean, for such a pivotal round to go their way. Mere milliseconds, the decider. And now Loud with control. EDG on a weird buy. 2 stingers, 2 pistols, and a guardian for Chichu. What a turn of events.
Pinapaulan na ng util. Sige,
There really
naliligo
no
ka.
real time to dwell for it either if you're EDG because Loud were already knocking on P's door. The crunch is nice through teleporter.
This is a very weird round right
Wait,
now.
they're gonna flip the map too. I mean, look at Loud.
No way. Do they know Aspas is
I mean, they know now. Chichu with nothing but
Tulungan
a
niyo naman
silver
si
health,
Aspas,
1
guys.
HP, and Aspas still being a nuisance, being a problem. Eventually meets his demise, but through all of that, Loud taking the spike, they're going back towards A.
Well, hold up, Doug. I think I've seen this before.
Plant mo na tayo. Ipaplant mo tayo o hindi mo
Upgraded
ipaplant.
weapons too, Sean. Kong is a vandal.
Line up, B. Line up, line up.
Not like
Di ba
this.
pa yan? Go. Oh, it's your time now. To shine sa dako. Baka naman, oh.
Crazy pieces of util that could catch people out in the middle of the open, stall the plan. I see how it would be possible.
Kakainin ko talaga yung sarili kong
Discipline is
dila.
paramount here if you're EDG. The rounds that feel the safest, the rounds that feel the most secure, are often the most dangerous. Sonic with the paranoia, snapping onto nobody. He's gonna get so much more challenge. Kong and Smoggy avoid disaster. This was 2 stingers, a guardian, and sheriffs.
Bobo din ng lineup.
Puta ina. This is the round EDG wins. But I mean, there has been so many rounds where I feel like EDG has these incredible advantages, and I cannot believe they can't close them out. But then a round like this happens.
Oh, yun yung chamba.
And you're quickly reminded what keeps this team in the game. it's not the 3-on-5 plays. It's not all the crossfires. It's just
Phantom na
incredible little micro
Patay na
plays.
sana yun, vandal yun.
Skill across this EDG
Si
roster
Viper.
is
Nakapatay pa tuloy. Nakahula pa tuloy ng Sky.
They've gone toe-to-toe with Loud up until this point. We're tied at 10 once more.
The Omen one-way showers again, putting a huge thorn in the side right now of EDG, and the short pop is happening. Omen ult into U-Haul, and the jump back onto Les.
They're gonna fully crunch though.
Bomba.
This is gonna be really difficult for Loud if you don't reestablish Showers control. I think this is gonna be tough to hold.
I don't know about this Viper's pit right
Ay, hindi kita yung ano, gago. Ah!
Gago, kapos.
Kapos, te.
Hindi kita.
Interesting call by
Hindi
Chicha.
tayo napapaulo ng kailang Loud B.
Ay, si Sadak.
They've got to
Very good
funnel
na yun.
out
Para
because
sa
again, they
kanya.
don't have Showers control. Now the pit's gonna have
Likod,
to be
likod.
doubled.
Flank, 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 flank.
Drop, so they've got to flank. I mean, they're stuck
Silip ka
in
na, para
U-Haul.
mamatay ka na.
The movement.
Yan.
They're stuck in U-Haul. The Tui's and Aspas punch back. A 2v2 pit still in play as Aspas drops it. With the judge, Smoggy left alone. The Satchel to buy some time to reposition and take a different angle, try to isolate the gunfights. Tui's so weak. Smoggy orbital strike in his lab has to take a step back, and there's nowhere to
Labas ka na sa dako, ano matay ka na.
I'll take the lead
Alay mo
once
yung
more.
katwa mo. Hindi ka makakapatay.
Oh man, EDG from the 5-on-4. Again, these advantageous scenarios. They cannot
Ano
go
kaya
out.
ako naging caster tayo
They can't
nito,
do
no,
it.
sa
This is
Pilipinas.
mad. Aspas found so much value with the
Bias
judge.
talaga, B.
That's now what Chichu, I mean, secures the round.
Takpan na lang. Eh, gumigiti na si Aspas. Let's go.
Ganda rin mas
I
niya,
have
yung
to
gusto ko mas.
question that Viper's pit. I'm not a fan. Just gets free shots, just taking free shots all over. No punish in sight right there coming from EDG. And now Loud look to get on
Oh,
halfway
sa
here.
online lang.
Two ults to do with it, and there's one of them. Aspas pushing forward with the showstopper.
There's no good.
No.
Ay, wala.
Ako.
Okay na yan, at least safe.
Found beneath him.
They've been stuck though.
Ay, patay na naman kayo. Kasi deadly nga
Exactly
yung
what they're doing,
labs
Sean. You're
na.
absolutely right.
Pagkakalong kayo, patay.
Nobody's holding the line. Galantine can't find a way out.
Dami nag-stuck na.
Octagon's not safe to go through either. That's a fake once more. And look at the rotations. Haodong's already heading back to A.
Naku, namatay na yung malakas.
Scenario for EDG.
Saving na naman sila, oh. Nanatalo sa hindi pala.
Hindi, hindi.
The player
Half lang
that
yung
gets
ano.
the information for this composition. And right now, Loud, they're gonna have to take
Go.
an
Go mo.
absolute stab at this. They have no idea what's
Mamamatay ka
going on.
dyan kay Kangkang B.
Yeah, but you can tell Loud have a plan here.
Kalmahan mo.
Spike it! Exactly. Sadak just put the spike down. So remember, they faked the teleport to suggest that they're going back A. They've cut noise. And now Sadak is going to make some presence A. Given that they're down in numbers, given that they don't have an initiator, they have to try to manipulate this and try to marionette their way through the round. But can they do it? Rice just creeps his way forward, drops
It's on
Kong.
Smoggy. Smoggy.
Oh, he's got too many targets
Nice.
to deal with. He can't.
Eto na.
Showers.
Nice one, Sadak.
And now we're in a 2-on-2. This is anyone's game right now.
Panalo mo yan. Ay! Ay!
Sadak maybe calling you out. You gotta be careful. He's down on your side. Nobody drops him. 10 seconds left. Tui's left in a 1v2 with nothing but a sliver of HP. 11, and that's not gonna be enough. Nobody gets 4. And of course, we're tied once more.
Bigat mo, Sadak. Diyos ko, paano kayo mananalo?
Up by 2 and you win type E. And they're
Tagal bumito nag-iisip.
This is just going back and forth at this point.
Nakatutok na yung ano niya, crosshair niya sa uli.
Fights
Puputok na
happening
lang.
across the map.
Dude, you called that stuff out of Hookah too.
Oh.
It was perfect. They couldn't find any space out of Hookah. They couldn't find any space out of
Smoke pa,
Octagon.
smoke pa.
And that forced Loud into this disastrous situation where they were discombobulated.
Uy, ba't na-stress ka pa? Panalo kayo.
Nakahinga siya, B. May map ng ED dito, di ba? May talo ED dito.
Taking one for Loud.
Mabubuto
We
sila sa
saw what
love
he was
next
capable of
game.
in that first half. The adjustment
Sadak.
coming in so quick.
Pakita niya na.
I'm so excited to see
Yun,
what
pakita
he's
niya yung
calling out of
bobong
this
yun.
time out. I
Kasalita
think
ako
the
pa.
B site is
Oo,
shut
daldal
down
pa yun.
business.
May
If I'm
boses ka
honest
pa.
here, But here's the
Leader
thing.
pa eh.
If I'm
Okay.
after on EDG,
Tangina mo, sa
I
baba
know
ka,
that
hindi
as
ka
well.
namin rinig.
And it could be a little
Tayo
bit
na, parang lahat.
They could be
Parang lahat,
years
wala kang
going
laman
on.
ng ingay.
I think what could
Napaputol-putol
happen
ka,
is
B.
potential A
Oh,
fake into a B
layo
lock.
mo.
Just because EDG will believe this is going to be an A round. And they will rotate as if it were an A round. So something like that is
Dapat dyan,
definitely in the cards, and it would certainly
base na lang
work
siya,
really
sa
well
Sadak.
right now for Loud coming out of this time.
Pag namatay si Aspas, lipat siya dun sa
Les's
upuan ni
pit.
Sadak.
mentioned it before. This pit on bomb is very difficult to deal with.
We have to take a look at the money situation too, as we're so near the end of this map. Les, we talked about his pit. Fortunately, he has the pit, so he can be a little bit safer, but all he has is a stinger.
Some early hookah pressure going to come in right now. Kawanzin and Osbus. I think to his single goal right now is if someone pushes longer, a guiding light comes down, get hit by it, make a presence. Nothing does, so he's immediately heading back to this A site. Light hookah pressure.
Kanina ka pa, Sada. Si Kangkang
Kumilala ka, ha?
Fortunately for EDG, they have 3 members A.
Lalaban niya.
That's where all of Loud seems to be headed.
Lalaban niya, te. Pag pumik ka talaga, patay ka.
Solo showers lurker. I think they're going to take the fight to him right now in this mid round.
Dude, Smoggy hasn't been cleared either. Sada gets the first of Paranoia. He somehow eventually dies. Nobody on the rear grabs Loud, just crumble. Wow. They get obliterated as EDG find themselves on map point.
And just like that,
Walang pera.
take the lead right at the finish line. But Loud,
Nag-blind pa yun, no? Hindi na lang inabangan.
they left enough
Pinapatay
in the
naman siya.
tank for a buy here on this last round.
Dalawa sa ano yun.
They purposely have bought down
After
right
ano
there.
nyo pumatay nag-blind po, bet namang pumatay pa ulit.
Doc here missing a Paranoia, which
Tingnan niyo muna kung
I'm going to be honest, I think that's a really big
Lo.
piece, as well as a
Lo.
boombot.
Sa Lokama Sebi, nasa lower bracket kayo.
There's a lot of stuff actually missing.
Yeah, you're right.
Hindi nagigil sa EDG yun naman.
Naman.
Ano tayo?
Triple push short.
Ito si Sadak
The
na mamamatay.
first
Tiyan mo,
sign of
go
aggression
Kangkang.
comes in the
Pag
last
pumik ka talaga.
round.
Kangkang gets it off. You hear it rattled off. Sending a shiver down their spine. There's the swing out. Smoggy
Patay, may
getting
napatay.
lost of less.
Nice trade, nice trade.
And they take a step back. EDG looking to go for the jugular, but it's countered back.
Puro sa takin naririnig ko dito.
4. That's going to spread EDG out.
Dapat
and they
nag-double
found the
pixel.
Brimstone. That's the stall in this comp. They don't have 3
Ay,
controllers.
naka-open.
Ayan, B.
Sonic has to stay alive.
Ina mo,
Just
Bi, buti.
narrowly.
Hindi ka nakain.
Going wide.
Buti di ka kumain ng bala.
And more importantly, though, that keeps
Alam na nila may
Smoggy at this A site.
Ult.
What is the play from Loud?
Ult
right
ka
now?
kaya,
They are
Kawanzin.
just at a snail's pace right now on this minimap. They are
Ito na. Puta,
slowly
mamamatay
moving
na.
towards
Ayan na,
A.
mamamatay na siya.
Meanwhile, getting so much space in showers.
Well, he's got to be careful, though. He's by himself. You were mentioning Smoggy a moment ago. He rotated back.
Ayan na.
Ayan, clear yan, clear yan.
They're gonna know only one player is at
Naultihan
this
pa.
A side. They
Nice,
are
alam na
gonna
nilang
pounce
info.
so fast.
But can he do it again?
Ah!
Up in hand.
Nice one, Aspas.
Doesn't even get a shot.
Sadak din naman din.
Aspas drops him, and now he scoops it up.
Wala na.
Loud in a position to take us to OT.
Ayun, sabi ko na
Smoggy
eh.
showstopper.
Naman na itong hayop na to. Bigat ang puta.
First, Aspas
Favorite
repositioning.
yung sumilip dun, no, sa pinto. Dun sa first
3v3, it's just the showstopper. Tui's 1 point away from the orbital strike.
Could be waiting for the guiding light coming in from nobody.
There's the ult. The first clear.
Patay ka pa, Aspas.
Nice one.
Clean move and getting away. Staying alive. Potentially preserving the round as nobody's on the flank. Tui's dropped. And they've got Aspas and Kawanzin corralled. There's
Oh,
nowhere
si
for
Nice
Tui's.
one.
My
Smoggy
GLB,
with 4 and
Bobo.
EDG
Patay pa
take
si Sadak.
bind.
Tangin na, hindi naman mag-post lang.
Oh
Siya lang
my
mag-isa po
goodness, what a map from EDG. I can't believe it. After losing all of those
Hindi pa siya
advantageous
nakasmoke sa
scenarios,
heaven, pipik pa siya dun sa may
wasting ults, it doesn't matter.
Gagong
You
Sadak
get shot in the
to.
face, you die. You die,
May
Doug.
utak ka
That's
pala.
how this works. This is
May
an
utak ka pa,
FPS
B?
game.
Dito ko.
Freaking A, Bren was right.
Wow.
Bigat mo sa Doc, huwag mo kami kausapin.
Unbelievable. Map 1 going in favor of
Hindi ako
EDG. Ascend
tatayo
on the
sa
other
upuan
side.
ko.
We'll be right back.
Kung ikaw ko yung bag ko, uwi na ako.
Range.
Pwede mag-TDM ka na lang.
Full V3. Sinano niya, pinatalo niya.
Oo. Matay pa kasi.
Sa body. Galing ni low body doon. Laki ng ano niya.
Kangkang din talaga, no? Lupit. Main.
Talaga ng height.
Hindi siya pinakamagaling na duel. Si Kangkang.
Pero magalit siya mag-OP.
Oo, OP lang.
Ayo.
Kabaliktaran niya si Sam.
Ito na naman. Tama na.
With aim labs, you can compete in over 1,000 tasks that will prepare you for any scenario in any game. For the new ranked season, you play, you get points, you can compare yourself to your friends. With aim labs, you one-to-one.
Si average Jonas.
You get
average
Jonas.
Parang mali na siya ang kinuha for aim labs.
You can also instantly modify existing
Gagi, may aim siya,
tasks.
B, kasi
Get started today by downloading aim labs for free and join millions of other
Hindi siya darating sa immortal na lang.
Pero kung ako kukuha ng
Kita-budgetan din.
Hindi si Jonas.
Ano yung profile niya? Tawag doon.
Pwede pa si Tarik. O kaya si sino yun? Yung tinanggal ng Sentinels. Yun yung maganda ang tutok dun.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yung nagka-issue. Nasira yung buong career niya dahil
Yung EDG ba nanalo na ng BCT?
Last Tokyo.
I mean,
champion pala Tokyo.
Champion. I mean yung trophy.
Hindi pa.
Meron na sa region ng China.
Hindi naman counted yun eh.
May hindi ba counted? Sabi mo trophy, may trophy yun.
Hindi yung sa BCT mismo.
Runner up.
Runner up lang. Itong Loud pwede nang magpahinga to eh. May trophy na to eh.
Kaya nga. Parang sabi ko tama na eh.
Pero
ulit na kayo roster.
Kapag gumaling si Sadak sa next map, pwede.
Gano'ng katagal next game niya? Sa next map? Mabilis lang.
Ito na, 3 minutes. 2 minutes.
Mabilis lang yan. Mismo yung oras.
Pag yung Fnatic na talo ng DRX, malaking kaya yan.
Nila Sadak doon sa lakaroon nila.
Oo.
Posible manalo DRX dito.
Pinaglaruan ng EGB. Ang EG talaga nakaka-bad trip.
Kaya hindi ko bad trip ako nung nanalo.
Wala, skill issue din talaga. Malakas talaga Demon 1B. Kahit anong sabihin mong attitude, malakas talaga sa Demon.
Okay pa rin.
Patayan pa ni Boostyo. Mahambog lang talaga yung grupo.
Si ano lang ang tahimik, si Ethan eh.
Sige. Pero shit, ay wag ka, pero siya ba yung, si Com ba yung yung Ishan?
Si Com yung tarantado.
Siya ba yung Ishan, yung nagpapatay sa turret?
Oo. Sasayaw-sayaw po itang mo pag napunta ka ng Pilipinas. Sasaksayin.
Dami yung alam.
Ay, sorry.
Ligo na siya. Let's go. Ulit ka na ba? Galia? Pasok ka ba bukas?
Seconds.
Hindi ko napapanoorin yung Fnatic tsaka DRX kasi alam ko na kung sino man nanalo. Matic na yun, 2-0 yun.
Malam magkaroon ng katok. Ay, katok si Dark.
Hindi, walang ganun. Ha? Nakita yung DRX kahapon? Ha? Kulang na lang lumubog sila sa lupa.
Thank you very much. Paper Thin here with EDG's coach after taking map number 1. Now after, I just want to ask you real quick, you guys are on the precipice of getting to your best finish ever at an international event. What's it going to take to finish the job here today?
现在 EDG
mahina talaga energy.
国际赛事最好成绩又进了一步了，你觉得未来的
Billion tumalo sa ano?
我觉得
tinalo din ng direction
在第一张图还是放松了很多优势局，其实只要把这件事情做好，我们就可以拿下胜利。
I think on map 1 we definitely lose some rounds that we had advantages. So definitely if we can fix this, I think we can pick up the win.
All right, great. Well, congratulations and good luck on the next map. EDG looking to close it out 2-0. Back to you guys.
Reason mo te.
They're looking to repeat history here at Champions. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Yingsu. I'm here with Mimi and Brent. Honestly, for a while there, I thought Loud are going to take this. They looked really good as the half switch. But Mimi, talk me through, how did EDG win that in the end? What happened?
Fantastic question. I've been wondering myself what the answer to that one is. It was a ridiculous game all across the board that I think was defined by both teams for little mistakes or little step-ups in the late rounds. They were pushing people over the line.
Clutch moment na, ilang beses pa kanya makaklutch yan tulad yan.
It was a game that I think in the first half was a lot about the strategy and the comps, but this second half, I think a lot of it came down to these crazy clutch situations, and that's just where EDG is excellent.
It really is where they thrive, and those little missteps that just got them over the line on top of it, but also I think Loud kind of ran out of ideas and gas a little bit as well on their attack side towards the later end of things. The composition for triple controller, it encourages you to slowly take that map control, over time. You don't really have those big pieces of util to try and, rapidly try and accelerate over towards short or whatever. I mean, maybe you got the paranoia, but really you're missing some other pieces. And they really did struggle, I think, as well. They were getting bogged down consistently. Chichu just saving. He had double snake bites in multiple instances where he was just bogging them out, got an absolute chokehold and just buying time for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and also, of course, the debut of Kong's Reina. What did you guys make of it?
I thought it was really good. I mean, it's just a role that makes sense for this guy. He's dropping 300 ACS. This guy's ridiculous. You set up that he's probably going to op a lot, and he did. And I thought they used it really well on defense, using their Viper utility to get him forward on angles to get a lot of critical opening picks. And on the attack side too, playing with when he's hopping, when he's not, and really forcing Loud to kind of play with expectations. And I was really impressed by that. I thought it was very well called by Haodong into when they were using the op, when they weren't, and where they were positioning it.
That was my big point, is actually using that, because so many teams are just counter-stranding now, checking the money, holding tab, looking at how much they've got in the bank, and expecting an operator every single round that can afford it. And when they were mixing in the rifle rounds and still making slowly, this is your opponents to think, guys, they're contacting with Kang with an operator in this round. There were those early instances where they had the rifles in hand, and they were still making the plays. They were getting away with murder. They didn't have to use any util to scale up effectively into certain areas. Really good map overall by EDG. Really nice clutch moments. And I do wonder which direction the series is now going to go into, because I do think, again, still, this map pool does favor Loud as we get deeper and deeper into it, especially looking at Ascent and into Haven.
Yeah, and speaking of Kong, here he is in the AIM Lab shoot-around. Of course, going on to the second map, we're probably going to get the Aspas versus Kong Jet v Jet battle.
Yeah, I think we should expect it. And it's going to be great, because already the battle between the two was excellent. People have been critiquing Aspas about his play on other agents besides the Jet, in particular at Tokyo. But I thought he's been great on pretty much every agent thus far here, and it was no different on the Raze. But still, that Jet is always going to be his starring role. This is, though, where Loud should feel comfortable. They've always been great on Ascent. It's always the map that they can go to in these late games to close out series. But for EDG, I actually have liked some of the things they're showing on their Ascent thus far. I think Haodong as a caller, again, has gotten a lot better at mid-rounding on the attack side as of late.
They're really proactive, actually, I think, as well, in terms of how they play the map and trying to take space actively to try and get that mid-round information to play off of. So I do wonder, when Frog was talking about the amount of preparation they've done ahead of this match and the amount of VODs they watch their opponents, I wonder how much of that does come down to Ascent, because if they can catch that out, if EDG end up trying to, re-clear the space in the mid-round portions on the defense side a lot more, they might have something in terms of just a read to be able to shut that down pretty heavily.
Yeah, and speaking of Fraud, he is standing by right now.
I'll go.
Let's see what he has to say ahead of map 2.
Plus 29 magazine.
Okay.
Sana all. There on map number 1. What's the message to the team going into Ascent to help get them to slow down and maybe take down EDG coming into the next map?
Just stick to our guns. I mean, we have a good understanding of how they like to play. We practice a lot against them as well. So for us, it's really just focusing on some of the things that we spoke about and just playing with a little bit more, I want to say discipline, but just being a little bit more communicative and smarter towards the end of the rounds.
Map 2 na?
Map 2. Mapa ng ano.
We just gotta, come out shooting and hopefully we take this win.
All right, Grell, good luck on the next map, brother. We'll see you later. Take care. All right, well, that is Loud's coach, Fraud. We're going to throw it back over to you.
Thank you. you very much. They do have a great chance on Ascent, but Mimi, what did you make of what Frod had to say there?
I think the biggest issue there, he's spot on. It's the late rounds, and it's Loud making, I think, some individual mistakes, some mistaken coordination. We started the day by really bigging up how good Loud has been in those moments with the coordination, but I felt like players were going off, trying to make an individual play, and at times it was working out for players like Cow and Zine. There's also a lot of rounds where someone's dying for no reason, things are slipping away, but like the casters were talking about, if there was a team to bring things back,
for the Jet.
They're great in these elimination moments. And Prime Gaming Agent Select, no surprises.
No surprises. I oohed because I was like, ooh, normal.
Which is a duck din na nag-smoke.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ascent, right? We do get a lot of these normal comps.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come down to, again, just the reading the tendencies that Loud have on EDG. Like I said, they get proactive on their defense side with a lot of the clearing, but one of the biggest highlights of this has to be, again, that Kang Aspas Jet head-to-head. That battle has taken place. This is an elimination game. It's for top 4. It's for really going a distance that EDG have never gone before. A finish in this tournament, or at least a minimum finish that really they've just been setting their sights on from the get-go.
In Tokyo, beating Loud was the catalyst for EDG to start the run at a global event where people really believed that they could do it, that they could compete for trophies. If they could do it again here, against a Loud who is in much better form, against a Loud who a lot of people predicted to be a top 3, top 4 team in this event, I think that's the moment where EDG goes from a breakout contender to someone who you can actually start to consider for a trophy.
I mean, it's the same thing for Loud. When this roster formed, you know, everybody had really high hopes of them. They won Americas. They are the defending champions here in this tournament. They have to win this map if they don't want to be eliminated right here, right now. Doug and Sean, let's see if we can indeed go the distance.
They say, Sean, that history has the tendency to repeat itself, and EDG find themselves in a position once more to do something outrageous to Loud, and that's eliminate them from a global tournament when nobody expected it.
Thank God they got off that breach comp, because I couldn't imagine seeing Sadak breach all of EDG and nobody get a 3K, because that's what happened in Tokyo, and it made me vomit in my mouth. But here we go. Loud, they are really poised to fight in the middle of the map right now. This is going to be a very, very aggressive pistol round. Turret holding B contact by less. And you can see right now Sadak leaning a little bit towards A with an early knife, and that's going to allow 4 players to fight in mid. Does Aspas actually go up the catwalk here though, Doug? This is...
I wouldn't think so. But we'll see. EDG on the attacking side. See the bides. 3 ghosts for the aforementioned. While Loud have 3 ghosts of their own.
Oh, the turret doesn't spot.
Dude, that's no way. How? That's so close. Chichu's waiting just on the other side of it. Aspas with the crosshair train. Trigger aches for the touch, and it's not connecting.
Aspas.
That paranoia is so good, but the dart is better. You're absolutely right. And they're going to continue to brawl through tree. The dash forward up from Kong, and he decapitates Sadak.
What an amazing tactic to bust open the quad mid-stack.
Last player standing.
I mean, this has all the makings of another flawless round, and that's exactly what it is, Sean. A prime gaming flawless for EDG as they open up Ascent with a bang.
I don't know how that turret wasn't spotting the cat. It looked like a disaster in the making.
What's mad too is that they didn't even really capitalize on it at first. You saw the first shots were a little wide and they don't connect, but then the pounce is just so good.
Turret 5'11", definitely not 6 feet.
Definitely not. You see the buyout from Edward Gaming. Bulldogs, a Marshall. Well, there was a Marshall. And then a Guardian in the hands of nobody.
And this is the base setup you're going to see a lot here on Ascent. The Omen and KO both starting towards this A side. Omen can stall this out very good with the one-ways at A main. The shift actually coming in from Loud. They're reading a B hit, and boy, are they right.
Where's Choo-Choo's turret?
It's a very interesting turret. They were playing it off of it for the push. Here comes the B hit, and they're going into all 5, Doug.
And 2 of them still haven't joined on the side. If they can find a timing to pop out from the smoke, this could be everything. They've got a flash that they can swing out with. Kawanzine able to hold the first with the work falling, and then you see the kills just trading back and forth. Kong pushing forward, 3K on the round for him, but unaware of where Les is. And of course, it would be a Les round if you can pull this off. 1 bullet, 1 target. Can it deliver? Les on the snap, no. Smoggy drops him. EDG get a second.
One bullet. Smoggy at 19 HP, and he just hits him with the swing. Ooh, dodges that shot. Felt like I was watching Nia right there for a second. That was so dicey for EDG. Now their bonus, dude, not looking very powerful.
No, but again, that swing, bro.
Gigil na gigil naman yan,
That's so
Kang.
bold.
It's very, very bold putting his HP right there. Kalen's with this Odin on B. We see it all the time, playing off of the turret. So turret makes contact, he Odin spams everyone to death. Also has this dart. And
Ganda rin ang protocol Cloud no?
Turret first contact, Aspas second contact, Odin spamming also. That's a pretty ridiculous setup on B.
And EDG seem to at least suspect what might be waiting for them on the other side. They also just invested the dart towards B. They're not going to take the space, but
Dog, this is,
off of that,
this is all it's at. The molly to stall out the hit, but Kong's way past that.
He's through, he's paranoid. How did they not see each other in that situation?
Gago, sino naka-Odin?
So much damage. 4 members of Loud are here. Remember the gun advantage that they have. It's just 2 rifles in the hand of EDG. Kong lit up. Kalen's pushing forward with the Odin, and they're able to keep them back. What? Ooh, Chichu nicely done to get one, but that's all it's going to be.
In a Boaster Gaming.
Flood out towards A.
Such a well played round by those 2 players on A. It looked very scary. When Kong got
Boaster, di ba sa ano yun?
Sa Fanatic, oo. Round 3
it
pala,
looked like it was
naka-ano
a
na.
coin flip at that moment, but the stall smoke on site, the spray to stall them out also at the door, allowed the rotate to come in. Really, really well played by those 2.
Pampaano yun eh. Pampainit.
Still
Pampainit
one
ang
off
ulo
the
yun.
Blade Storm, so this is a pretty good buy for EDG with another punchy round at very least after, even if they were to lose this round. Dart to clear out mid, smoke on Cat, and Kong has a lot of pace going up mid right now.
Les has to be careful here. The knife tags him, the alarm bot is cleared.
That's a lot of info. They know that the
Go
is inside right there of Market.
Mamatay na ba?
Breaks the alarm bot, and you can see what it does to the rotations. It forces Sadak to rotate over towards spawn, makes the A site weak, and that's what gets the one-way on Cat out of 2Es.
There's a lot of info that Aspas' position is getting right now. He was able to take the deep line into Wine.
Ooh.
Hold A main, but they want to end back B.
Yeah, look at Outong's smoke at the door of A. Pull Sadak back to A, and now we're in a mid-B split. They are hitting a very weak B site.
Remember Loud and how fast they were on their flood in the previous round, and yeah, that was with a gun advantage, but this time it's going to be a little bit more delayed. They haven't rotated quickly enough. Kalen's trying to delay the push, and if it's not going to be by utility, it's going to be by the Odin. Kong already dropped, looking for the swing on the second. He's flashed. He's dead. Smoggy with nothing to do there. A great flash up from Sadak. And Kalen's already gone to third. This spam is just so oppressive, Sean.
They had the right site. They did all of the right things. But they could not account for Kalen's in this Odin. Spots the 2 coming up. Clean.
He's got a little help here. 63 HP, he was able to reload, and really the onus is on EDG with just 10 seconds left. They've got to clear what's happening backside. The dart swings out, Haodong's already dropped, nobody with nothing but 12 HP. Clock is going to expire, see if he can take any kills with him. No, he cannot. We're tied at 2.
Loud played that masterfully.
I mean, Kalen's was a legend.
Yeah.
His hold back on site was everything.
The rotate was able to come in. They lived backside for so long. A stall smoke as well coming in from 2Es. And you couldn't draw up a better B hold than that, given the fact that their rotations were absolutely shredded by EDG.
Nakita ko ang presyo niyan.
Like I said, you know, even though EDG lost that round, this is still a very winnable thrifty right here for them. Kong's going to pop this Blade Storm really early.
They've got 4 sheriffs. I mean, I feel like you're selling me a little copium here, but I mean, I'll take the bait a little bit. We'll see what he can do with the blades.
He's taking the fight to Sadak right here. I think this fragment grenade will not slow him down in the slightest.
I mean, we saw it a couple of rounds ago, right? He just dashed forward, but he's
low
so much damage.
120 ka mo.
Remember, that's such a key to their success in this situation, too. It's just blades, the sheriffs. It's all about catching something slipping, right? Trying to catch a timing. You see nobody there trying to catch some space off of the drone.
Laban mo yan,
One's rotating right
Kangkang.
now into defender spawn, and that leaves everything wide open right now for Kong. He is on a mission right now.
That's a gun.
That's an up.
Yeah.
Sana
Is that really what
OP.
you want in this situation, though? It is Kong though, so we'll see.
Galing,
Les has
Niles.
already dropped 2, and he may just make that a non-factor.
Odin gods.
Save mo na yan, Kawanzin.
Right, a 1v4 with the op.
Mm.
Not happening this time. Kawanzin is, I feel like he's tallied up close to what, 10 kills in the last 2 rounds? Maybe not quite 10, but pretty close to it with the Odin by itself.
Wala maka ano
Yeah,
pa.
getting the Hunter's Fury online
Aspas
as
walang aim
well. He beat the lockdown coming out of Chichu.
Uy,
Nobody does have the Hunter's Fury to counter out Les's.
Ay, hindi, tama,
To
Batsu.
do that. Sometimes we have seen teams try to use the Hunter's Fury to enter the sites.
Right.
And then they have plans in the mid-round to maybe push the standard lockdowns, right? Push into tree if you take A. Push into A heaven. Create a lot of chaos. We could see something like that coming out of this timeout.
And we'll see what the play is. Again, EDG calling their first timeout of the game. Kawanzin has been a pest. So difficult to deal with in these last couple of rounds with the Odin. And mind you, they're by. They didn't have a buy in the previous round. So we'll see how things look now. You mentioned the Hunter's Fury that has to be discussed from nobody. They've also got a couple of players on EDG, Sean, that are close to having their ults online. Chichu's very close to his. Smoggy's just 2 points off of having his null command. So they have some tools here. We'll see what they do on the other side of the timeout.
Now this is a pretty pivotal timeout. I think EDG's attack side looked pretty good earlier on in this tournament when I watched them on Ascent, but it was a lot of hero plays. Nobody coming out big in some of the really key rounds of the half, like the bonus, the pistol, having ult value. So this is a round I'm looking for him to come online. Standard spread across the map right now for EDG. That's a knife that's going to go above market. It could catch Aspas.
Yeah, he has the op. Is there a challenge? Maybe Kangkang beats.
He should be holding for this jump spot.
Pag-commit ka talaga, V.
Get it.
Dart not tagging him. There's the knife. There it is. No dash found. Is there going to be a challenge? No.
But very aware of where this operator is, right? It's in the middle of the map. They know to put pressure there. They now know the KO is also on B. So the A setup.
Oh, that was so close. Nobody's got to be careful here. He took the bait. It was a tantalizing temptation to have Aspas out there to be taken. He just wasn't able to convert on it.
Gago, di mo pa tina...
Right for the players on this round.
Mad. They're going to push him to spawn. Sadak is here. He's ready. He's waiting. Oh, maybe he wasn't ready. First foul.
Nice one. Aim. Bumabawi.
Ay, that's criminal.
And with that, you could see Loud now treating very, very passively. He's up in heaven, along with Kawanzin. Looking for anything. Trying to create presence, trying to put pressure on this A site. If you look, Smoggy has the spike.
30 seconds
he's
left.
just praying someone just slips.
Yeah, give him a free one.
Yeah. Cover going now. Loud refuses.
Ganon.
They're going to rotate back towards A, and yeah, the spike is likely going to go down. But you can't imagine it holds on for long. Hardong has to go massive here in this smoke.
Nice one, Kawanzin.
Smoggy left by himself. He was able to drop the first. A little bit of a bold approach. Second there. He's got a shot in this.
Nice one.
Gosh, 45 HP. Oh, that was uncomfortably close.
I don't even know how that got so close.
Oh, Loud avoid disaster and take the round. I also think, Sean, that was a very important round for Loud because that's now 2 times where we've seen mid presence be via the alarm bot being cleared out or by space taken, and Sonic rotates back into spawn.
Yes.
Right, so now he has seen not only is that the correct way to be playing this, but he knows that EDG is going to try to push and take that space.
Yeah, I think EDG's game plan right now might be to take fights into Sadak, actually. Looking at how they're approaching this,
Kinabahan siya.
a lot of
Kinabahan siya.
to spawn, mid plays into B, into B. And typically they're taking fights to the rotators in those scenarios.
This is gamble stack from Loud. 3-1 towards B, and Sadak was, essentially there as well.
Pico.
Oo.
Early drone into mid.
Pumukha niya.
Look how they're poised right now.
Sino yung coach
Dude, you've got Les who was just playing back in
Look at
spawn.
Sadok's flash.
Sadok
Les
is there
will be
with-
swinging with this. This is an insane trap. Like Chichu is in big trouble.
There's the flash. Oh, there was the swing.
Flank.
What a setup. Dude, they've got the read on what EDG are trying to do right now.
They do, but this is an A-plow, and Tui's all alone. This is looking like a lockdown retake.
He wasn't alone for long.
Oh, no.
Sadok and Les are already here. And Tui's is able to drop the first on his own.
Yeah, plucked right through the smoke. Another first death going nobody's
Parang
way.
delay ka Giovanni
And
mga
this
3
lockdown
seconds.
is
Mga 3 years ka,
very,
Biro.
very difficult for EDG to contest.
Borderline impossible. There it is. The lockdown used
Lumipat
Chichu.
ako sa YouTube eh.
Everything exploding in front of him. The flash as he tried to get
Hindi, lumipat
a
na
gift
ako.
of a kill.
Delay
Not able to connect.
Flash mo lang yung Twitch.
Yeah, but, I mean, there's still so many things they're going to have to deal with.
Ang ina-order
And
niya.
there's just no way. Kongkong's going to have to 1v4 to pull this off. They've gotten close to it. And there's just no way to pull that off, though.
The rounds early on for EDG, I can see what they're going for.
Kaya
in their
try out
game
tayo sa
plans.
mga team.
It's
Madali lang
honestly
pala
very good.
mag-Valorant.
I think what they're doing to Loud's rotations and the
Ang
sides
lakas.
they're hitting, they're doing it all correctly. But
Wala
the
niya yung
first
nilaro ang
deaths
kaninang dalawa
going
eh.
their
Buhat
way,
na buhat eh.
particularly onto nobody, this
Palitan na natin si
Sova
ano,
roll
si Dubstep
are
pati si-
back-breaking on the
Hindi
attack
naman
half
malakas
of Ascent.
The side that's already just so difficult to manage as it is. And you're right, when you lose Sova in situations like that, it's just like playing the half on hard mode. But with all that said, EDG still doing the potential to maybe get to 5 and keep this competitive. They've got to be careful. Flash dart setup, there's the spam.
Hindi siya nagparamdam, diba?
Not going to connect onto anyone. Oh, never
Nice
mind.
one,
I
Les.
spoke too soon.
That was at B, so it filters the player out of
Just
tiles
kinausap
into
ako
the
ng birthday
second
ko.
Odin spamming at B.
insane,
And then Aspas takes the
Wala
line
akong
in mid, but
birthday ko,
Kongkong's pace right now.
You got to be careful, though, in situations like this. The pressure, the feeling the need to make a hero play.
Ikaw, ako lang ba
And it
pwede?
doesn't pan out. There's an up there.
Next week, pwede.
He knows it now.
Bobo.
Sabi ang mga
Somehow
pwede ka
gets by,
Okay.
upgrades the weapon, but these
Ayusin
numbers,
muna natin yung ano.
it's just so difficult to manage the disadvantage when you're in situations like
Bilis lang
this.
naman isang araw lang yun.
Yeah,
Save nyo yan,
that
te.
was an
Sumukuha din tayo ng ano ko lang din, national
opening
ID
right
sa
there.
market.
Wow, the
Picture lang daw
double
yun,
Odin
it's valid
spam
ID.
on the B side of the map. You're
Wala
obviously
pa
going to
ako,
jump
samahan
away
niyo
from
ako.
tiles. You're going to go right into B main,
Ora.
into the second Odin.
Di, sa
And then
market
the
lang.
op in mid is going to take the
market.
line. Two, he's closing it out. Great support as well, rotating into the site to protect Sadok.
Wala din naman tao, market. Sa may,
Hey, that's a
ano,
telestrator round if I've ever seen
Sabi
one.
ng brand.
That was gorgeous.
That's also 6 rounds in a row for Loud.
National
We'll see if we get a
ID lang
replay of it
sa
one more
market.
time because it was that pretty.
Bilis lang si Papi,
Doing it in
saglit
ways
lang.
right
Isang
now
oras
that
lang ata.
in their
siya
prior
nag-red
Ascent
quest.
games they didn't have.
Right.
Right? Aspas, not a key factor right now. 3 and 4 has the operator and does
Valid ID lang.
commands a lot of util when they find out where he is. And that's the one thing right now
May
Loud
lineup
has
na si
going for
Song.
just the fact that
Sa
it's a
market.
name.
Shit, saan yun? Sa market
It's a
bagsak
molly to
nun?
potentially break any
Oh,
turret.
Perfect!
But nothing
Gusto ko
is
yun.
there.
Okay, matry nga mamaya.
Note here too, there's no turret to get contact for Aspas here. He's just up by himself. Yeah, he's got a couple of shocks, but the space given away.
Oh, the Hunter's free to push him out of main.
And they're going to try to crunch into mid at the exact same time. 3 members here.
Kanina pa dapat
You've got
yung
Smoggy who's controlling mid as well. And there's the counter. That should clear things out. Meanwhile, Aspas getting one with the op. There you go. Lockdown clear. Chichu aggressive onto Sadok.
Oh, go.
Big fight here for nobody.
But Smoggy was behind him. The mid space that they had spent so much time and so much investment in trying to control.
They're rolling to A now. The spike is going through defender spawn.
And they've gotten the kill onto Tui's. That opens the site so much.
Nice
You
one.
also got Chichu who's able to control the rotates. Aspas can't find a way out. Kalantin's left by himself trying to spam with the Odin. There's the dart. That may have hit him. That may have hit him in the face.
Tanggalin nyo na yung Odin kanina
Upgrading the
kaya.
weapon, but Smoggy's there.
Pera pa rin
Great.
sila eh.
What a round from EDG.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That was incredible. I mean, I truly do think EDG has put together a great attack half. here you can see, they drop that lockdown and they know the Hunter's Fury will come to cancel it out. So they have a lurk coming through market. Simultaneously, they're also lurking into defender spawn. And they're aggressively fighting B as this Hunter's Fury is cast. That was insane, the mid-rounding.
And I think we really have to keep an eye on mid-map even more. We saw, again, how much Loud were insistent on protecting that area of the map. You see why? The one moment there's a slip up there, they punish. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be a factor in this round. EDG, a heavy lead towards A. 3 members of Loud here.
Kong will pick into the site. There's a jump spot behind team. Very large shot to hit.
Naka-stream si Song ha.
And he dashes into the cloud burst.
Nice one sa
It's going to be good, but Sadak was there to draw.
Drone.
Drone cleared out. And now the counter to try and find some space. EDG have not been able to get their way out from main.
Nahihihi mo, mahihiya ka pa eh, no?
I don't know how to get out from this point on.
What?
No flashes on Smoggy. They're gonna have to shoot their way out.
Okay lang, nadink.
But can they find another?
Nadink bukas.
But 30 bullets in that weapon.
Kasi sa duck naman pala kasi nag-OPB, kaya wala nang tatak.
Kaya pala.
Couple of members of EDG here threatening. There's no plan B. They have taken space elsewhere. This is a full commitment towards A. And out on try catching him. But Tui's was
Nice one sa
wide
Doc. Laban mo, te.
Knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, that was the
Hindi rin
only
makalabas eh.
Labas.
Wala rin lalabas, B.
Tui's read that like a book.
Yeah.
Read like a book.
What a hold on this A site.
Pasok.
Ay!
Chichi, what are you up to, man?
Tropa mo. Tropa mo, pinapanood ka lang, oh.
With only a few seconds left really in this round, the spike isn't going to make its way out onto the site. There's got a shot. Oh, nobody's aware. Oh, never mind. No, he's not. No, he's not. For a moment, looked back to where Aspas was headed, but just as quickly he turns away, and a second timeout called from EDG in the first half.
I can respect it. I'm gonna be real with you here, Doug. I think they need a couple more rounds on the board here. I don't know if their defensive half
Ito talaga yung problema ng Valorant.
solidified enough to.
Kung ano yung hindi nila mapabit sila na nanalo.
I mean, from here it could be a 9-3 split, 9 or 10 to stay in this game.
Lo, tuwan-tuwa ka, B. Wala ka natamaan sa OP mo.
Doesn't typically enjoy playing as
Panis yung OP niya sa dingding.
That's a very good point. That's just such a risky call.
At least maganda na yung stand. Yan mo stand yun.
Effectively blind without after for the rest of the map. It's a gamble. We'll see if it pays off. Loud's defense has been stalwart. They've only lost one round after dropping the pistol and then the subsequent. It's been all Loud, man.
It truly has. And Smoggy, I feel like right now After has to be looking for a play to get Smoggy an orb and plow a site, right? Take all of this util out of Loud's hands. They are stalling them to death when they enter these sites. I mean, we're seeing it every round at A. But KO, the Omen are locking down the site. At B, Cow and Z retreats all the way to the back of the West. It is so difficult right now for EDG to hit the second layer of these hits.
Can Loud deny once more on the other side of this timeout? You see the buy for EDG. It's not great.
Shit.
How on? Just as a frenzy.
We might get an Ospas round right here, Doug.
What is this buy? Do they have anything to buy in the next? Another opener with the op.
Bawi ka
And they
next
still have the
round.
alarm bot, so they
Ina
can
mo
fall
ha,
back and
kanina
still
ka pa
control
open
this
ng
area.
OP eh, kami naman di.
So well done. He falls
Mid
off
pa,
the
B.
uses the drone to get set up on the B line. The dart comes in. They clear out B main. Less rotating. Knows people are in market.
Ina mo, Les.
That goes Hadong's way, and he's about to get a 1 again against Sadak, and this could really even things up.
We'll see what they can do. Sadak with the molly and the flash. And then you've got Kawanzin who's controlling the other side. And remember, it is an Odin. Maybe they reimpress
all of this space.
Yeah, dude, they have.
Nice
I mean, they
one.
have EDG completely surrounded.
And it's still winnable though.
Winnable
the
yan.
1-for-1 on
3v2
the
eh.
Omen that typically is that lockdown player on the A side.
Aspas taking an aggressive line.
Si Aspas din wala eh.
The op, and that's exactly where they're headed. Crosshair, steady. Right
Audition
on Hadong, he's
piece.
gonna get away. I mean,
Ay,
this is death by 1,000 cuts. They have slowly and meticulously picked EDG apart.
Another off angle.
Ay, gago.
It's just Smoggy by himself now. Given the financial situation, he's not going to be able to carry the rifle into the next round. Loud get to 8.
Ako yun,
EDG
B.
are in
Ay, ako pala si
serious
Les.
trouble here.
It's just gorgeous.
Ako less at
movement right
Aspas
there
eh.
coming out of Aspas.
Hybrid.
Taking the off angle on a deep line in B
Gusto
main at the
makalaban
end of
ni
that
Ten si
round.
Aspas.
And I want to draw attention also to the shot that he missed. He's directly below market. That's
Masyado nang
the
maraming
crosshair
iniisip si
placement of someone
Ten.
peeking that angle, Doug, is high.
Yeah.
So everything he did, you're using up traps almost like a dash.
Ayun si Hiko.
This is the Aspas we know and love in Americas.
You see the buyout from EDG, the repercussions of the previous round. It's just one rifle for Howdong.
Comment nga ako dun.
Couple of Stingers inspectors.
They didn't break the darts.
Awatin niyo yung
Very
Lincoln.
well could be
Hindi
their
na parang
demise. Aspas is here as well. Kong falls as Aspas somehow hits the second. He's going for the third. The shorty connects, but Howdong punches back. 3v2, and again, it's just Howdong with a rifle. Smoggy's brought back up. All he's got is the Spectre, though.
Yeah, they really didn't retrieve very much, even though they grabbed those 2 frags. The op remains down. This is going to be a super difficult round here for EDG. This alarm bot is still up in mid. They haven't dealt with that.
And remember, this is very similar to the previous round where you mentioned there's no entry.
Yeah.
So it all goes out onto Howdong to create the space.
Very well played. Loning Omen smokes over to this B site. The KO knife clears out B main. The alarm bot's holding mid. So they are feeling super comfy stacking the A site with 2 right now.
See the lockdown investment.
30 seconds left.
Sadak opting to get the Odin instead of the operator, and now rotating through.
Double Omen smokes
May
having a
pang-waiting
lot of space. Chuchu debates going into door.
Ano mo ah.
Second thoughts.
Yeah, timing's ahead of this. I mean, they get the spike down, and they're happy to give up the space.
Oh, for sure. They can defend this from main. This is a winnable round
Nice
for
one.
EDG.
Howdong with no more smokes, but he does have ult. Keep an eye on that. Does he make an aggressive play? Does he try to get behind them? See the spam not connecting. Tui's on the tap, and now the paranoia to push forward.
Still not halved.
No real intentions of going elsewhere. Sadak dropped. Tui's though on the counter. It's very nice. EDG are making a run at this.
They're gonna double swing, Doug.
Less 1v2. Oh, and they didn't double swing. They
Oh
didn't
my
double swing.
God.
But it's okay.
Oh.
Oh, Howdong with 3 and
Nag-miss
EDG
yung
with
bata
4.
mo doon. Ano son?
Oh my
Bigat mo,
goodness.
te. Wala na.
Another
Pahinga nyo na yan, te.
nail-biter of a
Next season na
situation.
kayo.
That was
Palit kay
robbery
IDL.
by EDG to
Oo,
win
yun
that
talaga
fourth
kailangan yun.
round.
Nakita na namin
Much
yun ang
needed
kulang sa inibig.
going into their defensive half.
You take a look at it one more.
It's just the spam.
Dude,
Okay.
You said it earlier, Sean.
commentator.
Sometimes you really are better lucky than good. And when things are connecting that way,
Happy,
to
eh?
stay in this fight,
Very
again,
happy.
the defensive
Wala sila
side of
nag-gift eh.
Ascent should be favored. Loud amass a good lead, but EDG are sticking in this. We had the opportunity to talk with Tui's a little bit earlier, and let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Acho que a gente tá se sentindo bem, tipo, um pouco triste pós-jogo, né, normal. Mas acho que a gente jogou bem, teve muitos rounds cruciais que a gente perdeu. Acho que a gente tava acertando bastante coisa também. Mas tem muito mérito também da PaperX, jogo grande assim, no detalhe. Acho que talvez eles surpreenderam talvez só em mostrando a comp diferente na Lotus, sabe? Mas isso não foi o key point, sabe? Eu acho que a composição de Fênix a gente já esperava, era mais a Lotus mesmo, que a gente não tinha informação sobre eles. Mas também o Fênix na mão do Jing, ele é um jogador que joga muito bem com o boneco e trouxe alguns rounds pro time. Eu acho que foi mais, não é mais sobre o agente, era mais sobre o mapa ter feito algo diferente, sabe? O clutchzinho que os caras ganharam, que fez toda a diferença, sabe? Mas foi um bom jogo.
Just absolutely beeline it into the B sides. Les here with the sheriff, and that is beautiful.
Acho que vai ser um jogo bem legal, eles têm um estilo de jogo diferente também, eles também estão crescendo bastante no campeonato, são um time muito forte. Acho que o principal ponto forte deles, acho que é a individualidade deles, acho que eles têm 5 caras que são muito bons individualmente e trazem muito round aleatório. Também eles têm um estilo de jogo agressivo também, gostam de fazer plays, e esse é um jogo que você tem que ficar ligado. Temos mais uma chance e vamos mostrar o que a gente veio porque a gente tá aqui, sabe, fazer o nosso, se divertir. Queria dizer também que a gente tá muito preparado para representar o Brasil nesse campeonato e eu quero a torcida de todo mundo. É difícil representar aqui com apoio contra, mas eu quero que vocês continuem torcendo por nós.
Sige.
Go.
Wala na intindihan.
Go B.
Loud left their stamp on that first half. They're up 8-4, leading into the second half of Ascent, but now they're on the attacking side, Sean, and that's a different beast, man.
It is. We've seen Loud struggle here, and they have struggled here very, very recently. This is a half for the star players of EDG to really come online. Defensive half of Ascent, very, very easy half to play. Oh, the dart gets a ping. They know this is a B hit, and they have the stack, Doug.
Oh, it's actually Aspas who goes aggressive. There's no way. You're absolutely right. Nobody wasn't even looking. Kalanzine and Aspas. The tandem duo to drop a couple in twoies flies across the screen to get another.
Plant mo te.
Howdong and Smoggy, the only
Kalma, hindi ba yung plant? Mahirap. Well played.
Hindi, dot plant ka agad. Pagkapasok plant.
Beautiful for Loud.
Gago.
Ganun yun. Tatlo nga, oh. Isa taga-plant, dalawa taga-defend.
Gusto ganda tatlo yung mapapain.
Hindi ganun.
no?
So blunt. The Uto coming in from Loud
Sa
was
dakbot, frag pa din
perfect
kahit
right
ano
there.
gamit.
Actually, can't wait to see this.
Hindi na nanalo. Nananalo.
Gonna get it, but God, that Uto had to be so insane.
Kawawa na.
Well, gear na dapat.
Bigay mo na, bigay mo na.
It was a decisive.
After can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it either. It was a decisive round from Loud. And that nets them the ever-important pistol.
Yeah, the mid stack for EDG. This is a very desperate play.
Oh,
commit
dito
na
naman.
That's going to cause a speed up here towards A potentially. No, they think better of it. The knife comes in. Doesn't really get anything.
Well, you got to be careful here because Chichu is left mid.
Ay, gago.
Ay, patay ko, Soba.
Ano baril
Ay,
yan?
patay yung Les.
Alam mo, binag-use ka pa. Tulog mo na yan.
Gago, nagpa-flank si Giljo.
Alam, may info sila.
Naka-ghost lang yan.
Oh, dapat, ewan ko ba, ba't walang ganyang killjoy namin?
Wala kang pakibiti, mamamatay yan.
I don't know if Loud will be aware of that.
Makakadalawa yan.
Ayun o, may turret.
Oo, mapapatay niya Soba dyan. Isa,
So close right now, Doug.
Kaso ang bagal niya, Joshua nga.
Aspas taking space and taking Smoggy down too.
Gusto niya kakampi, tsaka pa lang yan tatakbo.
This is just so free.
Wala na. O, diba, Joshua nga?
Holding the flag right now, Loud.
Oh, diba? Sabi nyo, ganyan ako. Ganyan talaga ako, B.
Ghost lang.
I'll be defending, hindi ako magpa-flank. Nasa site lang ako, B, all the way. Kayong pala Desi.
Defending?
Oo.
Nasa
Ay,
site
attacking.
ka?
Sa site ako pag defending, hindi ako alis dun, B.
Hindi, post plant ka.
Hindi pag defending, nasa site lang ako. Nasa B site ako all the way.
Actually.
It's over.
Hindi niya ititrade yung kakampi niya
Wala,
kahit
B.
sumuswing.
Kahit mag-gera kayo sa A, basta baka
iwala niya
mag-flank
niya yung kampi niya sa site B habang siya nandun nakatutok sa mall.
Bakit? Ako yun eh. Killjoy main.
Take this initial fight.
Ayun, gusto kay Song palaban.
Tayo, B. Tsaka tingnan mo na nanalo naman.
Ito naman. Naman duda doon.
Yan yung one. Yan yung ayokong one way.
Into one. A 3-stack on the A site with a deep alarm.
Nagkamba na akong one way sa ano.
Out of B main.
Chichu once again taking a lot of space, but Kankam feeling some pressure.
Chichu might be able to punish less here.
I thought for just a moment there would have been a window for him to be able to play around, but no, Sonic pushes
Grabe yung
forward.
grabe sa duck.
Like less is so
Ayun na, nakakaangkit na sa duck ha.
But can he deal with him? The first drop, the second spotted. Nobody bests him.
Okay lang. Nasa 3, nasa 3.
That was going on. Howdong had gotten into a cheeky little spot in
Grabe
line.
sa duck doon. Nice ano.
He was dealt with too.
Yan ba pala eh. Kung hindi pa tatrust token eh.
Is inevitable at this point.
It does indeed. This would require
to.
real heroics for EDG to bring
Gago, binuksan sinarado.
Dapat ganun din tayo eh.
I don't even know if the play for nobody could be to go for this actually.
Oh, panis kay sa duck.
Winning that one on four.
Siguro na rin din tayo. Sabi, tang ina nyo. Kayo mag-compare.
Ang ina nyo, mama mo, kanina pa kayo natatrash.
Kayo kaya dito.
the board for Loud, and when those ults come online, it's almost a free round.
Yeah, I mean, this snowball is very quickly becoming an avalanche. 3 rounds in a row for Loud. You mentioned the ultimate situation. They've got money to work with for days.
Yes.
Anong last map? Split, diba?
And you can
Split,
see EDG
decider map.
very aware of this.
Shit, magre-raise din si
Ay, Haven!
Aspas.
Haven ang decider map.
Give up 12. The comeback would be near impossible.
Yun si Sadak, kakain ng yelo yan. Kakain ng ano yan, tiyan mo.
For so long already.
Gago na hindi nag-pop up si ano dito, si
Smoke mid, and he's got a little bit of help behind him.
Kangkang. Naging passive.
All there is a turret on B.
Ayun na, Sadak, mamamatay.
Ayun o.
Yun. Clear B, clear B.
Gago, ang ganda ng timing, B. Tingnan mo, walang tao sa B. Grabe.
Not able to do so as Aspas aggressive. My goodness.
Grabe naman yun, ang talino. Ang galing.
Yan, taga-plancha, taga-plan.
Ay, ang galing. Puta, ay na mahalas talaga.
Giovanni, ganyan. Giovanni, nauuntog.
Naging mukha ni Margarita.
Chichu's dealt with, but just how long and nobody there remains. They both have rifles, and there are a lot of members weak on the side of Loud, but the crossfire setup that they have is just so devastating. Even if you drop a couple, there are layers to Loud setup.
Malas ng EDG ngayon, B. Pag-push na B, wala.
Hindi naman nila mapa yan eh. Pero ang lala eh, hindi sila nakahabol eh, oh.
No timeouts.
Tayo na ganyan din yung ginawa ng ano, Loud tsaka ano, PRX eh.
Pero di ba kahapo, yung first map, nauntog oh, Giovanni. Nauntog. Giovanni highlights.
Easy round by Loud right there. They're laughing about it.
EDG, wala nang shield oh, basta makabalil ng baril.
When you've got a Loud who's this confident, who's this in control, laughing with elimination, hovering over, it's a scary sight. But they're just up so big right now. Yeah, EDG's able to amass another buy.
Nako,
tanga.
Gets a little bit of info there for nobody. So that's going to trigger the drone to clear back up B main. They see the Killjoy turret here. They recognize now it is a Killjoy Sova setup here. I don't know if they're
alam na kayo guys.
He's ready to break this lock.
May line up yung ace. Basta.
Yes.
3.
Galing.
To see that out of EG, that shows me right there, their heads are still in this game. They are really thinking through what their alt plays could be.
Ay, hindi lang mag-ano. Ang galing, pineke.
Where we are in this game.
Pineke.
It's going to take a whole lot more than
that.
Oh yeah, I do think though the alarm bot location, very spicy. That could latch onto Aspas and they could follow that for a kill, but he goes up and over into the side.
And right into Smoggy's lap, right into his crosshair too.
Nice one, Sadak.
With the counter though, they still have mid control, nobody trying to peek out, and Kalanzine is just so much better in that situation. And again, as things go back and forth like that, when you're down in numbers, it's up to 0. Kong almost gets both. Less with 2 HP. Kong keeps it alive. The Red Bull clutch for EDG.
That's the moment we've been looking for EDG.
Oh, hindi nakuha.
With the star player moment.
May pera pa din. Yung pera nila hanggang bukas eh.
In this game right now.
Oy no, 9,000 si Sadak. What if mamigay ka, B?
The defense side of Ascent. I know that's a lot of code. There's a lot of code in me saying that, but I have seen crazy things.
Nanalo na yan ah.
Ay no, gago kulat din ah.
Star players get activated. Once they start feeling out the pace of the rounds that Loud is trying to accomplish.
Wala na, hindi na siya happy kasi malayo-layo pa abulin.
Score na katingin.
Look at the ults on Loud right now.
Just one step taken and a marathon left to run for EDG. And you're right, those ults can be devastating.
Ubus ang dalawang kutsilyo.
Certainly looking like an A pop here. The flash is coming in from Sadak to clear out main, but
Nako, alam na.
Times counter knife.
Bang.
The flash catches
What the
Nice one.
3 on 5.
Ganda ng ano, backup.
Ganda ng flash.
Ganda ng backup ni ano nun. Umi. Yun lang, si Loudless.
Maybe there's a shot at this, but again,
4v2.
Talo na.
Nice one.
Next round. Deciding.
One night.
But he cancels.
Ay no, yung mga lineup nila yung mga
And that seems inevitable once more. I mean, nobody is just getting hammered from every single side possible. Loud dominate.
Alt F4 ka na.
Their map pick and take us to Haven. And what a performance that was, Sean.
Yabang nyo. Wala mo yun.
Botog ka pa din. Kinain na nung ano, yung brief niya, kinain na ng puwit niya. Wala yung ginagawa, naka-oversave.
Di pa na nag-ano, plus 5 na natin siya.
Okay, last. Dito na magkakaalaman.
13 to 5, folks. We've got Haven on the cars. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Yan, pick na, Haven.
Haven eh. What if may mag-sage?
Sage ni Denaris.
Oo. Sage ni AK.
Stage ng ano, low orb sa kampe. Ganun.
O kaya yung duelist natin na rush ng rush, namamatay naman.
Yes.
Giovanni Salong. A-Long, ikaw yun, di ba? Trip mo yun eh. Di mapa mo yun. A-Long tsaka sa sewer, sa A.
Wala pa rin tatalo sa magpapaplant, hindi kiniklear.
Ako yun. Bakit? Basta pag
ayoko mag-plant eh.
Di, pag pumasok kayo, patayin nyo lahat na nakikita nyo. Kasi ako magpa-plant.
Ako dito ako sa dulo.
O pag na-plant ko, bahala kayo dyan. Sayang yung nanoswarm ko tsaka turret kung di gagamitin.
Napakasarap ng buhay mo kaya dun, B. Iba yung nagpa-plant para sa'yo, tapos nandun ka lang sa likod, kaya...
Well...
Kaya naman i-trade, low na yung kalaban. Hindi, post-plant ako.
Sayang eh. Hindi ako nag-killjoy, ganun. Okay, sino kaya?
Kaya nakakabilib pa rin eh, kasi gumagana ang puta.
So, diba, pare-parehas yung, sa Haven, pare-parehas yung bato ko, diba? Tsaka yung alarm bot ko sa C, hindi na nagbabago.
Sa Lotus.
Sa Lotus, ay wala. Diyan kayo, bahala kayo dyan.
Ay, Lotus. Pearl pala. Lotus.
Oh, sa Pearl. Yung sa Pearl talaga eh. Forever na yun.
Sulit pa rin to si AK. Grabe ang himbing ah.
Yan na. Ayun na.
Oh, what a time for Loud to show up and secure a dominant victory on Ascent against EDG. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Mimi. And Bren, I asked you this question after map 1. How did EDG manage to win Vine? I'm going to throw you the same question here, Mimi. How did Loud manage to roll EDG that hard?
I think two factors. First of all, I think EDG looked really unprepared to play against this comp on their attacking side. They had a lot of rounds where they're trying to just do one-stage executes, throwing Kung Kung in really fast into these hits. And Loud is just a team who's so excellent at supporting those anchors, punishing those dive players, and they did that consistently. And I just felt like EDG were running out of ideas. Yeah. In the mid-round, I didn't feel like they were that proactive at re-clearing space. Instead, it was just kind of sit outside of sight, wait for our util to recharge, and then go into these side execs that were constantly being shut down.
Yeah, they were dominating. I mean, Loud of the side execs over towards B, they were just hammering at home every day of the week. But, you know, like we were mentioning over and over again, Loud's biggest strength so far in this tournament has been a lot of their pistol rounds and bonus round conversions. It's been giving them a huge huge lead, and it's pissed around. There was nothing real, clever being used, but it does highlight the example that, Loud were just finding that weakness in the defensive setups of EDG and hammering it home over and over and over again consistently after this round. They just found that weakness because the anchoring players could not hold on. The flooding was coming in a little bit too late by EDG. If you're going to play this play style with the anchoring players, you've got to be on point of it with the util, like in terms of just KO flashes over the top to support those players, smokes to supplement and then partition it up, and then the bonus round conversion just sealed it all.
Yeah, it absolutely did. One thing that does worry me for EDG into the final map now, Haven, of this series, is that I feel like they were trying to go for quite a few flood retakes on their defensive side of this map that looked really uncoordinated and seemed more like it was just players trying to make plays and taking risks that didn't really work out for them. And in that way, this second map reminds me a lot of the EDG versus EG series we've already seen, where they have a super close map one, they pull it off, and then they go into the next map and things start to kind of snowball out of their control.
Yeah, I really need to see a bit of a bounce back, I think, from EDG as a team.
Oh, ganyan pala sila sa EDG,
I do worry. I said it right at the beginning when we were looking at the map veto. Just, it feels like it favors Loud pretty heavily. Like Ascent, we knew they were going to be favored. That's why it was so dominant, I think, partially as well, because EDG just couldn't come up with the answers to stop the repeated hits as well on top of it that Loud were spotting out. But then onto Haven as well as a different ballgame entirely.
Yeah, let's talk about Tui's and Kawazine real quick, because they're the players that don't have this trophy. Bren, their teammates, they won it last year, but these two, they are hunting for their first.
They're playing like they want that trophy. They really are hunting for that first one, and we're seeing significant step-ups in form as well. There's been one or two, slip-ups per map as well. You give them one map per tournament, I feel like, where they don't have a good show of things. But it has just been pure consistency, pure class from Kawazine in 2 years.
And you talk about the championship pedigree of this team, of winning last year, of always being a top squad internationally, and it really does feel like it's just been instilled into these two young guys by their teammates, just like the rest of their team. On Ascent, map 2, after having some rough moments, bounce back. Kawazine, crazy great supportive utility for his anchors, tons of these late round step-ups. He was clutching up on Bind, he was clutching up on this map as well, and it's the same to be said about Tui's. I feel like he always really goes under the radar, but he's just a consistently solid controller player that every tournament, he has at least a few of those moments where he's closing out big rounds, big games for Loud.
Yeah, you can see how comfortable they were on Ascent as well. And speaking of comfort, the Harbor Viper, we got to talk about it as we move on to Haven. They're not going to be more comfortable or anything else except for that. I know you both have a little bit of concerns as to how EDG should deal with
Yes, they need to adapt their playbook in terms of if they're going up against this Viper Harbor. If we end up seeing that for Haven as a map, because Loud are so good at this. They have so many different looks, but you do need to adjust it. If you end up playing the Breach and the Sova, you have to actively try and pick and choose timings to flank if you're not going to flood defense on sites. It's hard to do. It's 3 sites on Haven. You can't flood defense everything. That's just the way the map plays out. So you need to be on point when it comes to flanking, picking and choosing the right timings with that. You need to adjust your setups as well. I've seen lots of teams play against this comp, and they weren't adjusting the way their Breach plays on the defense side, and the Breach players constantly getting cut off by Viper walls, and they don't know where to stand. It was infuriating to watch. I need to see evidence that EDG have done their homework, and they know how to go up against this composition.
It's also really difficult because you have to play those set retakes. If you try and flood retake versus Harbor Viper, especially over towards that A site, there's so much stall utility. There's 2 characters with mollies, there's 2 characters with smokes completely stalling you out, that if you try and use that breach stun, the aftershock combo that you're normally doing towards Hell, you're just going to run out of utility and lack that second stage. So this is going to be, I think, the biggest test for EDG here. They've shown that they're a competitor, that they can compete at this level, but now they're up against a composition, a style that they don't normally have to play against, and they either have to, I think, change their comp or really change the style in the way that they already play their Breach Sova composition.
Yeah, we don't want to see what happened against EG as well, where, like you said, Mimi, they win
Yun
map
yung
1
kumapa ni
very, very
Kang Kang
closely,
to.
and
Puro
then
OP si
completely
Kang
drop the
Kang.
ball map 2 and 3. But looking at the players on stage, they look very, very dialed in, focused. They're ready to go because, Bren, if they don't win this map, they're going to be going home and they're going to be coming top 6, which is a great achievement for them, but they're not going to be able to push past the top 4.
I mean, exactly right. So I think this is a heartbreaker
Harbor
Viper landing, because either we, get to see Loud exiting far earlier than we really want, I think, for a team to get that chance, that, back-to-back championships for winning that title, or EDG don't break through their own personal objectives of making top 4 in a tournament, potentially going even deeper.
Well, let's take a look at where we're going to go for the the Prime Gaming agent select. Of course, we talked about Viper Harbor a lot. Mimin is going to come out here.
It's going to be the same comp for Edward Gaming. A lot of what we were talking about with this comp was the defensive side. Edward will start on the attack here, and this is where I think you also do run into some issues. Loud's comp is really good for taking extremity control, scaling down long with the cascade, really making you think about where you're pushing in. It's also really good to support anchors and allow you to flood, especially on the C side. Watch Tui's throw up a wall in front of his teammate on the side to get everyone back in together. It's again really going to be looking at these two initiator players, Nobody and Smog, and the timing they choose to use their utility against this Loud comp.
Yeah, I mean, Loud are just a masterclass team. I think when I think of them on Haven in particular with this composition, they have so many different looks on it. There's not on the defense side, it's the attack side that I'm most impressed with when I look at Loud play this one. But I'm just praying from the bottom of my heart that EDG have come to this prepared and ready to play against this competition. If they aren't, it might be a repeat of the second map that we've already seen, just a one-sided affair.
This is a huge test for Edward Gaming to try and make their deepest run, to make it into the top 4, try and go further here in Champs LA. Louder, of course, though, the reigning champion. They probably feel so under pressure here. This is where they are comfortable, and if they can close out here, they have an opportunity to defend their title deeper into this tournament.
Well, it all comes down to this. This is the map that's going to decide which team will be moving on in the competition. I'm going to send this back over to your casters, Doug and Sean, to take us through.
Thank you so much, Inzi. Yeah, elimination on the line, and of course it would be one map to decide it all. And there are so many conversations we can have already, Sean, right? We've got to talk about Harbor Viper. We've got to talk about EDG's comp that they run on Haven and the question marks that can kind of come up with it. How does Kong find value against this double wall comp? There are so many things to cover, Sean.
There's a lot of things that are going against EDG early. Yeah. But we do not see a lot of ciphers going into the Harbor Viper. I think Chichu, when I watched him play Haven, his lurks, in particularly towards Garage, towards B, towards C, the left side of the map actually are phenomenal. He opens up so many mid rounds for EDG. On the other hand, someone like Nobody with this Sova will probably struggle to find value. Right off the bat, we see a
anong wall yan kay Viper?
A-long position and a retake wall cutting across C and Garage.
And as soon as they see that, the Harbor wall goes up. You've got an alarm bot on the other side. But hang on, he's got past it. He's got to be able to find some value though, because he's left by himself and he can't convert. Even with the fault line there, nothing is found. Less on the swing, he's already got 3 on the round. But it's a flawless round for Loud.
The Harbor Viper reigns supreme Loud.
Tingnan mo yung wall ng Viper B.
Tingnan
mo yung wall ni
two VCT Americas and everyone followed suit like sheep. And they dominated everyone week in and week out. And this is how they did it. Constant harassment into the site through the smokes. Great positioning across the map. Good timings on high tide coming out of Tui's. Again, the triple challenge on A. But now we have the Viper shifting over here. This is different.
No, dalawa.
Sonic's getting the first there. We see the dart land, but
disaster.
I mean, as soon as the dart falls, EDG's bodies fall with it.
Nobody's
left by himself. This wasn't a flawless round, but it was as close as you could possibly get.
Blinks, a long blink. You missed that round.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that gets you a check on bingo.
Bonus eh.
Are we doing that today? I don't think I saw that.
I don't think so. That was pretty banging though.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
EDG now in a position where they have to punch back. Nobody's the only one who's collected a frag up until this point, but they've got rifles. They have full armor on Nobody and Kong respectively.
Another shift, though, coming out of Loud. We're going to see a Cascade likely coming into lobby, a Sky guiding light
Hello,
as well.
Kimari. Good morning.
They've moved Aspas on this C side.
Morning, B. Sorry na.
You're gonna just aggravate this.
Hayop ka, so.
Naglaro naman si JD daw eh. Hanggang gabi nga kayo naglaro eh.
Ano?
Hanggang gabi daw kayo naglaro.
Interestingly enough.
Di OA ng gabi.
Hindi ba? Naglaro si JD hanggang gabi.
Yung gabi.
EDG is just poised for a reaggress on long here. You can see they have a high-low with the Kong. and Smoggy.
Yeah, the spike is on the opposite side. It just rotated all the way to double doors.
Chichu's just trying to break some Killjoy util, and I think he needed some help from
Yung
nobody.
ina, Jaja, yan. Yan ang wall B.
Here's that high tide cutting across both bricks.
Pag ganun, oh.
Short.
Di.
Such a powerful piece of util.
Hindi ako nag-harbor sa ano.
Ay, hindi. Hindi. Baka kasi take notes. Minutes.
Really tee off on these side players.
Minutes of the meeting.
You've got Sonic back side though, who's now flashed, and they still haven't found their way out. And Paranoia, now you see the aftershock. Now they continue to funnel their way out, but they've all tucked. This could be disaster. Kankang's already taken care of. Tui's with the cove in his face, tries to spam through it tonight.
Tignan mo yung sinend ko sa Discord mo.
EDG with a ferocious take of the site.
30 seconds left.
Wait lang.
Less than Tui's by themselves.
Ay!
And it's all one less. He cannot convert. EDG are on the board.
They played such a delicate
Saan
round.
natin lalagay yan dito?
Masterfully right there. I mean, once all of those stall smokes were going your left side sight, people were funneling in on that wall coming out of V-Link. That was a very difficult round. You can see Smoggy swinging, grabbing two as a breach. Must-win bonus round for EDG. But now, the op comes out. Aspas back at this
Bonus
A
naman
site.
yun eh.
And again, this is where the hit's going to be coming. The breach util will come in on long A.
Ayan na.
There it is, pushes him off the early angle, even does catch him.
He's coming back.
EDG filling up the space behind him, but is the flash going to be enough?
Uy!
Again, such a delicate dance.
They got the dash
Ina mo, B, puro kasi OP. Hayop ka.
The dash out of Aspas is
Init ng ulo
what's
ng mga
likely going to stop him from playing
Sila
super
JD
aggressive on
yata
this A
gabi na
side.
natapos
Break
naman.
again, the Killjoy util. They're messing with the
Laro pa yata
rotations
sila.
right now. Chichu's so good on this lurk roll.
Taas ka na
Drone
gising.
likely going to come in garage right now.
12.
To clear out Les's position. Yeah, there's the cam too. A consideration on the drone.
We're looking at a garage split right now, and I'm worried for this spike. I am very worried for nobody getting caught in garage.
Sadak is here to help too. They should know now. Yeah, they know now. They know that both are here. Les with aggressive peek in the spam through on Chichu. He tries to connect, but look at Kangkang. Look, the ratty play, but Les was aware.
This is all just a ruse. They're
Okay,
going
Kangkang down, Kangkang down.
There's
Tapos
so
na yung
much
ano, patay na yung
noise
top
given
frag.
to Aspas. Look at the rotate.
Gagawin dyan ba si
Remember, he
ano?
still has an op. He's
Si...
going to be the one to control short. He's the only one on
Naku,
site right now.
I think they realize he could be short. They know. But can they do
Cypher late
anything about it?
Naku, gatumingin.
Lockdown's
Naku!
gonna be a problem. He's
Naku
gonna
po,
have to
tumingin.
play out of this.
Ay!
Tries to
Ay!
get some high ground, tries to go for it, but conceal himself, but he can't.
Bali,
EDG
tigil ka dyan
It's a great plant though, Doug. Look, it's a plant for long with the lockdown. They can play this.
They go behind the space. Chichu playing in short, both of them walled off. They got a cascade, they've got a high tide.
The cove.
Daming wall, B.
Oh, and he can't even get it to half. Sonic didn't get half. It's all on the count and he can't deliver either.
They've done it. These A-site holds by EDG.
OP ka kasi na OP, hayop
Oh
ka.
my gosh, they are so ready for the util. The way
Isa
they're
lang,
playing in these mid-rounds that are so difficult. Loud is throwing everything at them. The fact that they locked down with Aspas nested in short, I thought it was over. That was an incredible play by Loud. That's countered again by EDG. And EDG now have Loud on the ropes economically.
Such a massive round. Dealing with Aspas getting the second kill from short. And of course, we're right back into it this time. It seemed like Tui's was trying to take an aggressive line down short. Nothing but a sheriff.
Wala pa.
The only one with the better gun.
We have that cascade coming up long. Loud creeping. What is the response from EDG when this cascade falls? Cypher cam, beautiful by Chichu.
Oh.
Naku, nagdag ako.
That's a bad way to die. That's a horrible way to die. In the Trailblazer, aftershock, darted, everything.
Disaster para sa
Aspas playing
Loud.
inside the smoke. He has nothing but a sheriff here. Dodges the paranoia somehow. Do they know he's there?
Oh
I don't think
my
they know.
god.
Oh, they didn't know.
I know exactly.
Let's get
Read
some
a
first,
second,
but
no
again.
way, they can't read this.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Caged.
But he runs out of ammo.
Nice one.
Serious damage on the Chichu there, and I thought Aspas had a shot at it for just a moment.
What an unreal round. Just the Yuto from Chichu alone entering this cage. Aspas like a rat. How did he even? How did he know?
For today's video, hindi si nobody.
Les was able to get. Well, I mean, this was just so unfortunate.
Mali yung position dito ni
I mean, they spot you with the cam. You were forced into a trailblazer, and then your aftershock, you're darted. Everything.
Pahina pa yun, no? 78.
That was just miserable. But again, Aspas was in a position there off of Les getting a kill with the Sheriff because he was also gone undetected.
Busog na busog yung pisingin mo kaya.
Shot at it and avoids disaster. Early timeout called here by Fraud.
Very early, but much needed. These 3 rounds all lost at the A site. As an in-game leader, this is the dream for EDG. They've opened up the playbook massively. They've proven they can take this A site at will. So Loud now.
Grabe, kailangan mo pahinga ng Loud. May trono naman na sila.
To hold A. Do they have a flood retake planned with maybe getting a harbor ult online?
Ewan ko, Sadak, habol ka, be.
One off now at this point.
Puro,
There's a lot of things they could do. But EDG, the fakes now are opened up massively in their playbook. This is an IGL's dream moment.
I think the question is, do they lean into that? Right? Do they use that to their advantage? Because you're right, it feels like they're running circles around Loud right now. If you know that you have that advantage, yeah, throw a little curveball in there and see what happens. See, the different look is out of Loud. 2 members towards A. In Tui's and Kawanzin. And it is an op in the heads of Aspas, and it almost seems like they're expecting to see him.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame Fraud. But they're just going to keep at what's working, and I respect this massively for EDG. This is a hard decision to make as an in-game leader, to keep just doing what's working until they can stop it.
If it ain't broke.
Nobody going to help Chichu now get this garage control, break the alarm
bot, make sure this Nano's out of the play.
There's the smoke right on top of Les's lap. You can see the Nanos burned.
That was really nice.
This is so well played right now by EDG. The pressure they are putting on this left side of the map again.
Gago.
That changes everything, but nobody's taking less out. The alarm bot's now down in garage. This 3-player A setup has to break.
You expect them to flip here. That Trailblazer only spotted 1, but there was a flash over the top when that high tide was still up to confirm presence.
Yeah, I think you can see Loud keeping 3 on A now after that Trailblazer. And EDG is aware of it. They're walking away. They've yet to test this C-side. The guiding light comes over long, gets no info, and that should be the cue right now for Loud to hightail it quickly across the map, but they're not doing it. They are not biting.
Howdong has the spike.
30 seconds left.
It's a fake TP.
Well
it's a
done.
fake TP. So put a seed of doubt in Aspas's mind. Did he TP across?
And that's going to keep him there tethered onto that area for just a moment. Meanwhile, the rest of EDG is intent on committing out onto the site. You see Kong dashing forward. Sonic cleans him up, 13 seconds left. They still have, they've got to get the spike down. Howdong's trying to do his best, but none of them can see a thing.
Nice.
Holds the site. Gets a 3K, gets Loud their third.
Shit.
Ang lala ni Kawanzin, nakita mo yung ibon niya, B. May sariling buhay eh. May sariling buhay ibon niya eh. Dota 2 ata na laro nito.
So bold. So unlikely that that would happen.
Watching
how the round's playing out. But an overcooked call from EDG. They go back into this A site in the mid-round. I don't even, honestly, I can't blame them about the guiding light. Went over long, got no info. That's just a hard read by Loud.
And a massive play from Kawanzin, who now has Seekers online. You hear the blades used by Kong at the opening of the round. Surrounded by rifles.
And we are not going A this round. There is no chance of an A hit right now.
The alarm bot's spotting it. Nobody clear. There's a rolling thunder. And it's just Aspas who's here on the site, but he should be able to get away. By the narrowest of margins, gets past the smoke and preserves life. And of course, Sky wants to push. Is there a flash? Is there something for him to scale with?
Seekers and this retake wall. Do they give it up or do they play in front of it? Tough decision to make right now for EDG, but they play up.
Yeah, it seems like they're digging their heels into the sand.
4 players in front of this wall. Seekers go to waste. The Trailblazer comes in, combined with a dart, and Kong remains aggressive.
What are they looking for? What's the cue? There's the flash. Kong once again dropped off that angle. Kawanzin taking care of nobody at the beginning. And they're going to have this pinch from the other side. They have to deal with Garage as well. And now you see the flood come through from Loud. Surrounding Kong, dropping him. Leaving Chichu by himself. The retake from Loud is masterful.
EDG played with fire right there, and boy, did they get burned. Kawanzin had a full kit of util. The Seekers come out, the Trailblazer comes out. And just when, Kong thinks the flood is about to happen, a guiding light swing, and that breaks the setup completely.
Gabi, di nagbabago yung setup nila,
the player at logs is left hands down.
Ganun lang.
At that moment, it was just curtains. It was over for EDG on that side hold.
Galing eh.
There's that flash that you're referring to. For the second, actually. And when you had that presence and the pressure coming in from Garage, it was just too much to deal with.
Huge round. Now, things have changed so much.
Ambag ba si Sadak?
May
ambag si Sadak.
Look at this. EDG only a shorty on out on right now. What is the play? Is he going to ult backside B? Ult heaven A? What do you do with a shorty?
Night shot ka ng ano. Ay naman sa big one, hindi na yung B.
He had nowhere to go. But he did what he set out to do. He got the spike down. They've invested the reckoning. They're trying to push him off the site. Meanwhile, Aspas has taken all this space down long. And again, it's a barrage of utility from the defensive side. C's not safe. They're aggressing forward on the site too. They've got a corner in grass with nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Chichu and Swaggy look on the side, holds a defuse by himself. Another decisive round from Loud.
Wala kang busta?
The ult value coming in right now is just too much for EDG to
bigyan nyo
handle.
ng katulong si
Round prior, it was the Seekers. There, it's the reckoning. Even though nobody was able to step in front of it,
Hindi pwede B.
there was no one to support, no one
Maliit
to
lang yung
trade.
B eh.
Now, Edward Gaming, they have a really, really hard time now because Loud has answered back so strongly after taking this time out. We're sitting at 5-3. Loud in this defensive half. I don't think things are going to get easier next half.
No, I agree with you completely. Can you imagine after feel some of that presence, some of that pressure, understanding the severity of the moment, and what looms over your shoulder? Again, elimination for the team that loses this map.
Yeah.
The dreams of a year gone to waste, and nothing but questions of what could have been.
Ang drama naman nun.
Kasi EDG wala pa napapanalunan eh. Ano nila to eh.
Parang naiiyak na si Ano B.
So far.
Si Damula.
We've yet to see the op come out for Kong.
Ano nila to eh. First time nilang aabot ng ano eh.
It's coming.
Hindi.
Ng top 4? Ay, hindi ba?
Nag-third runner up sila dun sa ano, Fnatic versus
It is very, very difficult to find that first blood.
Nilaglag nila to ang
He
Loud.
is an incredible player with this weapon.
Good luck
But he is going to have
1-1
to
to.
really pull something out of the bag here.
Nanalo Loud?
Pag nanalo yung Loud, 1-1.
Sa buong ano nila game.
Pero te, nakita mo win rate ng Loud sa sa event. Ang 100%, 10 matches.
Cascade coming through the wall from Tui's. Guiding light to get some info at lobby. Simultaneously, less of all. That's not even Aspas. He's pushing down mid as the Killjoy.
Kaninang pick to?
Decider na to. Okay. 1-1. Oh, 1-1.
And look at that harbor wall and how pesky that would be to deal with.
Crazy.
That's actually insane.
It's annoying approaching short A. There could be someone behind it on the box. It's annoying getting into short A because it blocks that line. It also blocks front B. They're baiting you into Aspas right now.
B, mag-B ulit yan, tiyan mo.
EDG waited out and it seems like they set their sights back towards A.
Sorry B, sa lang tayo B. Wala tayong magagawa.
Ngayon pala ako matatalo sa pick ko. Huwag naman gano'n.
Sige, pag pumig ka talaga. Sino ba si Viper? Tangin na, ikaw na naman, Sadak.
Sadak taking a step back. You see both mollies denying entry, at least initially. Or attempted to delay. You see Kong gets dashed out. He's got the hop. And he lands it right onto side. Can he get much more? Kawanzin dancing
nice one, Les.
Nice one, Les. Les is just so consistent and he's still on the side. Smoggy, can he deliver? No! Les with 4 and Loud with another.
Underdogs.
Galing.
Parang umay na kasi
What a
ako sa
round
loud
of
sa
Les.
fanatic.
This event,
Perfect.
this is a career event by Les. This is someone that won champions last year, but sitting at 16-4 right now, 9 rounds in on Killjoy.
I feel like I'm getting tired of saying one round from Les.
Ganyan mag-Killjoy.
He's just been so consistent.
Ewan ko talaga sa Killjoy natin.
He's cold.
Puro kayo atake,
King ina mo, para kang si ano, si Kangkang, tingnan mo, tres, bot frag, putangin na ka.
Uy, Chong.
Oh, ina mo.
So much
diba, tingnan mo,
invested.
17 na lang buhay.
So much power put in the hands of their star.
Difficult
position to play from for the rest
Tingnan
of
mo,
the round.
pagpasok niya ni Jet, mamamatay yan.
He is
Kasi may
alive.
alarm, may turret.
And there's an opportunity here for EDG.
Oo,
It's just a
ganun yan.
turret towards B right now. But the thing is, you've got Sodoc's pit, you've got Les's lockdown too.
I don't think they're going to get anything on this peak. Link.
Nakalive ako.
You can see, Chichu and nobody have moved their distraction over towards A. The Trailblazer sees both of them, which honestly might keep these 3 people on A, and it does. So the spike will go down here. So clean round right there by him. And here comes the lockdown.
Kang!
Ay!
Isa pa ka.
Here comes Kangkang.
Okay na, si Sadak wala talaga, B. Ang bigat ni Sadak.
Yeah, there it is. Finding value on the attack side with the op. But here's where this becomes a problem. Yeah, you have an op, but when you have all these walls in your face, how do you circumvent that?
Oh no, the cove.
Pick mo,
Les
te.
is pushing his way forward too. He's already gotten a kill. He's still healthy, but he was falling. He had no shot. Aspas now with the op. Kangkang
Chichu! I
Kangkang.
love you,
Tui's is
Chichu.
left by himself, a
Sa likod.
1v2. And that op's still in
Nice.
play. Tui's, can he deliver? No.
There we go, Doug. That's our
Gawin niya na
star
yung
player,
momentum.
Kangkang,
That's
right there,
lucky.
coming up with the operator.
Sana mag-6 all ulit. Yun yung maganda eh.
Finding 3 frags that round.
Pero sana ano,
Into Harbor
8-4.
Viper Comp with the lockdown.
Oh, tangin na mo Sadak. For the ano, pangat mong jump pick.
Aspas guarding everyone from top site. That looks so improbable, but this man is so quick. Look at these shots.
Nagulit kay Sadak. Guys, round 1 pa yun.
From EDG, you see it on your
Ay,
screen.
map 1 pa yun.
For a little
Ako
while,
lang ba yung jump pick niya?
showing
Buong
signs of
katawan
life,
hindi
showing that there's still
nakita.
fight left in them. A couple of key ultimates to work with here too, including Smoggy's
Pwede
Rolling
naman
Thunder.
siguro kahit braso lang.
The value of the Cypher Cam is shown right there, right? The dart broken at long.
Sige na,
but
coach.
Chichu knows. No
Sorry
one
na,
swung
coach.
with that line. He's going to trip this short push. He's going to put the seed of doubt. You know, someone's peeking long with his cage. They have a breach ult to work with. But
Hoy,
you have to make sure
wala mo
someone
sa
like
jump
Les
pick
isn't
ko.
walking down B.
Ganito ba siya, B?
May natatamaan.
This might be
Sige,
the C
nakasayan.
side. I think Hadong might ult
Ay, kapag
backside
jump
here.
pick din to kay Kangkang, palogis din to eh.
Aspas
Ay, hindi, true.
force him off the line.
Alam niyo na kung saan.
This could very well.
Wait, Kangkang's
Ah!
The pace. Oh
Off.
no, the breach ult's
Oh
down.
my God.
He's going
Off,
aggressive.
B.
He wants
Paano
to get
i-off?
Aspas, but somehow stays alive. He's
Puta,
still
nang
looking
may-
for
Nobody. The dart from nobody was so good.
Where do they go from here? The
Diyan ka
neural
lang,
theft
Kang.
invested.
Kawawa
EDG
naman
looking to
si
get the
ano,
spike down and
Smoggy.
should succeed.
Ah!
Kangkang gets another. That's all, but that's a 4K for the star.
Kita mo yun?
He is alive and he is online.
Lupit ni Kangkang.
Sabi ko, Bobby, ano sa
Heading into
sabi
this
ka kay
last
Hindi.
Kangkang?
round.
Ayan na,
Loud
galingan na
arm
niya.
broke.
Abi, si Nobody talaga. Nobody but you. 4B.
Hindi ka napunta kay Nobody sa kampot.
Kung sino bot frag.
Once this
Si Sadak kawawa na eh, baka
Kangkang's
nakaupo na yan.
hands, Things really turned around.
No.
Oo.
shot.
Huwag mag-celebrate masyado.
Oh,
Sobra naman yung atras, baka malaglag na yan.
and that will be worth its weight in gold. A judge close
Asan
garage.
yung F? Nawawala yung F sa key.
You've seen the judge really pop off this event, Doug.
Ang tawag dito.
2 ults for Loud. Important ones. I feel like Sonic has had that pit for a while.
Ay, gusto yung pala si Paul.
Hindi nakita.
Are they gonna push him?
Tulog mo na yan,
What do we
Min.
do it? There's a rolling thunder in the face of the pit, and I mean, you instantly see the pit goes up, the wall goes up to try to protect what resources they have.
KJ, andun
They
pa rin.
dropped the Seekers too. You gotta be careful here. There are only 2
Grabe
members out on site.
defense ng
Kangkang just
ano.
now arriving,
Grabe si Chichu, B.
and they've taken the site.
Pero yung grabe din defense ng ano Loud.
Just gonna pretend like it's not
I don't
there.
hate Loud. I just
They throw the brakes on the round.
Don't want to see
Finally
them
commit to the
again.
plant.
Oh, he could potentially lurk out. So you can see Hadong now has to be aware of that. They
He's also-
ping it.
Ang daming angle na hawakan ni Kangkang. Kalmahan
Try to
mo.
get info on what's happening in the pit.
Not a lot of util though from Loud. How do they enter this site? The timing needs to be immaculate.
Such a tense moment.
Oh, they split it in half.
Patay ka,
You see
Kangkang.
Les up in heaven, seeing what he can find, but he's smoked off for now. And he's just so patient. He's still up there waiting at the smoke.
No.
There it is. It subsides. Smoggy now from in hell, looking for another one to take.
Nice!
The ball is so good!
Oh, it's going to be perfect.
Nice
He
one, Smoggy.
spots the first, but Sonic goes unchecked. Out on 1v2 in the pit.
How?
Looking for them, and they're
Nice.
there, but
Nice.
Sonic
No time, no
turns
time.
on just the right time.
No time!
There is no time. You're absolutely right.
Nice.
What a round. What a half.
EDG! Come out of the half with
Galing mo
6!
dun, galing mo dun.
I don't know how they did it.
Nice
I
six,
do
six.
not know how they did it.
Ito na.
But here we are,
Ito na talaga.
even game.
Hindi pang attacking yung
This
gamit
is
ng ano.
anyone's series right now. The loser
Sabi
goes
pa,
home.
defending yung Loud eh.
Dude, what a play.
The
Dikit
hero
lang-
plays from both of these
Dikit lang
teams
laban ng ano, 2
are
games.
off the charts.
Tambak
Powder getting the kill
yung
and the
second
diffuser
back.
secured the round.
Ano, same gameplay na, same play
You can
na
see how much it
yung
means to
PRX sa
Kangkang
Decider.
screaming.
tambak sa
Unbelievable. A 6-6 half. One half to decide it all. Yinsu, take it away.
On a score 13-5, 13-4.
Oh, what a map this is. We were a little bit worried about what EDG are going to do against this Viper Harborcom, and they pulled it back, Mimi, despite some of the incredible retakes we saw from Loud.
The first part of this half, I thought Loud was just going to
Decided
run
it.
away with this. It was going to be the same story as that EG game for EDG, but that was not the case whatsoever. Still, these retakes were incredible. Loud started off with the read that they were going to play these really fast flood retakes against EDG, and in fact, EDG was punishing them quite well. Then they went for these slower, more structured retakes. They were working great. The thing is, though, look at the number at the bottom. It ended up with only 2 out of 7 because of these last few rounds for EDG that were utterly ridiculous, Brent.
Yeah, and I think that there was those adaptations, the hero plays by EDG. It is insane that we are here at a 6-6 half. I'm starting to be a bit of a believer. I'm starting to have hope. I really thought that Loud was just going to take control of this one if EDG didn't come in with a prep, but it is 6-6 in an elimination game. I mean, Sean was going on about it for good reasons. There is so much on the line here with these two teams, and I cannot believe they managed to pull it back to this point. It is still anyone's game for that top 4 spot in champs.
But the second half changes a lot. It's again this question of how can EDG contend with this composition? How have they changed their ideas on this half to be able to deal with the Harbor Viper, a style that they're not used to playing against?
Pag natalo nila yung Loud
With this
dito,
style, it would be
kasi
massive.
sira
It would
streak
be the
ng Loud sa
reigning
Haven.
champions here in 2023 and going home in the top 6 so early.
I'm starting to be a believer for EDG that they can do this because they've already shown evidence that they can
mawalan
adjust.
ng
They adjusted in the
momentum,
second half,
second
that first one, and I'm just looking forward to this series, man. I mean, I just want to see more here. This is going to decide our top 4.
Yeah, potentially the most important pistol round in both of these teams' careers here. I can't wait to see what we're going to get, Doug and Sean.
Thank you so much, Yinsu. Yeah, just a couple of moments away from kicking off this second half. And I've got to very quickly remind everyone these two teams have danced before with everything on the line, and it was EDG who came out on top.
We haven't been to map 3 before yet, and this is where Loud, the championship pedigree, comes to life. Oswald's with that Sheriff on this opening pistol, the wall cutting across to allow Alert come into A.
Wala rin pala silang killjoy.
Nobody's dart triple pings, and that allows this stack C to exist.
Sadak is taking so much space with the fall line and the paranoia. Do they fly out behind it?
That's a one-way. If that goes down, they push Loud off.
Dude, meanwhile, Sadak, all the space that he had down long gets denied too. He's got to take a step back.
This is rolling to A, though, and nobody is all alone.
But he's ahead of it, and he's healthy, and he's got a frenzy. No armor on any of the members on the attacking side.
This is very bold.
Do they dare challenge? Oh, they do.
Nice one.
Hotspot, so the Sheriff is better. How much more can they find? The spike is going to flip once more.
This is where the Harbor Viper reigns supreme. Doug, look at this. They've manipulated the rotations everywhere. The only thing EDG have going for them is this cam on B. The high tide comes in, locks EDG out of the site.
Ganda ng wall. Pukong ng wall to. Parang ano to, bundok.
Easy plug talaga pag Harbor Viper.
Yeah, the timing on that is mad. Oh. There's a shot at it, though. It's just that the two of the members of EDG that are still up are so weak. 59 and 20 HP.
Uy,
Aspas spotting the first, and you see
ina.
that ping pong swing. First it's Aspas, then Kawanzina on the flip. He's already got
Ano,
3 on the
Chicho,
round.
kaya pa?
The fourth is there. It's up for grabs, and he finds it. Pistol in favor of Loud.
Gumamit ng frenzy.
Yung kanina pa yun, naka-ace nga siya sa ano eh.
Once nobody fell
Sa
in
bind.
that A site, it was like Sadak
Di
knew
yung mga blind
exactly
gabi,
what
tingnan yung
to
mga blind
do.
yan, nakakasama.
Rip EDG to
Pati yung
shreds
nasa
on
likod
this
na
pistol,
tatamaan.
taking the
Ba't wala akong napapatay pag nag-frenzy ako?
locking them out. The orb onto
Balat yung sa
spawn.
akin.
Yung akin sa
The
dibdib
likelihood
eh.
of this
Idedibdib pa
retake
paa.
at that point just collapses.
Dahan-dahan.
EDG now.
Vamos.
Sigaw ka ng sigaw eh.
That's a super important pistol, and Rod definitely knows that.
But still the opportunity at something.
A little bit of a trap play here. Fault line
Talo sila
nobody.
kahapon.
Here we go.
Sadak's stunned, but there is a little bit of help. You've got Les watching over his shoulder. The Trailblazer towards A.
Do they come in? Hear that? Trailblazers saw 3 to 4 people.
I don't think they
mo.
want the heat, man.
Sa,
Look at that.
putang ina, 4 B.
They've set the line of
Sadak,
scrimmage
ano na te?
Could be a bit stubborn by Loud.
Ayun, yun. Okay lang. Low.
It's tough to
Oh,
say.
here
Last
they
time.
are pushing them.
Yeah, they are.
Dami,
They're so
dude.
weak.
Dami,
too.
B.
That
World
flash
War.
hit everyone. I mean, it should just be open season on members of EDG.
Oh,
That's
man.
exactly what it is. Concon going by himself. Tuis gets the third.
Good collab.
Look at the HPs remaining. though. 18 and 19 on Tuis and Les
Grabe.
respectively.
Alam mo kung tayo yun?
Jeez, that was-
Set apat, rotate,
that got
C.
really
Ganun.
scary for Loud.
Shit,
So
4
you see
dito
the
lang
gun
ako,
difference
Song.
on full display.
Yeah.
Set apat, rotate kami, dyan ka,
You just
Bani.
imagine
Ganun.
if EDG had a little bit more to work with in
Yeah.
that situation. What could happen?
Would you look at this, like Cowanzine, because of that pistol, he already has Seekers online. And with this double control, with Harbor Viper, manipulating the rotations, using the Sky Util to know if people are in front of him. So you can see right now, we have a triple setup towards mid. The Viper lurking down with this wall on short A. There's a trap play with Smoggy, but it really won't even matter, right? The Harbor wall cuts across Garage as well as left side B. That combines with the Viper wall. So there's a lot of pressure on B right now. And Garage. And Sadak has lurked up short A.
I thought for a second there,
Bago
Concon
naginailang
was just
sila,
going to
balik sila sa
keep
iyo.
on the other side of the harbor wall, but he waits a little bit, and they actually invested paranoia for him to take the line.
No, dog. Seekers are definitely going to be popped right now. And this site, I don't know how EDG can hold it. The Cascade comes into spawn. The Orb is likely going to go into spawn. The Snake Bite also to lock them out.
Oh, on the spam.
God.
Nakita, oo.
Are you expecting Smoggy?
Oh,
He saw his full
ini-smoke
utility.
pa oh.
Saw his
Pangit
full
ang
utility.
rally,
Yeah,
oh.
they do. I mean, they expect it all. Aspas is so aware. He's so ready for it.
Papanggil ng aso.
Looking for another challenge. And they're just cutting their losses, Sean.
Indeed, they are. And
Gago, pag nanalo kayo
this is
dito,
literally
katapat niyo
dotting your
fanatic.
eyes, crossing your teeth. I twist through a cove down backside, ready for the potential flood. Just so that way he doesn't get
Save
it.
me
Breach, aftershock, breach, flash. There were so many things that can go wrong on these floods into the A site. And that cove really, really puts a wrench in things.
Play, guys.
Wow,
Uy, umalis ka na,
a
Tuis.
massive
Epal ka.
bonus win here, but keeping 3 guns in it for
Dapat hintayin nyo lang
EDG
kasi
means
mag-office si
they will be able to buy into the next.
Oo,
That
pag
is a light win.
naka-open na si Kankan,
they've
tayo
got a
makahabol
shot at
yan.
this. It's not much of one, but there is a shot. I mean, Aspas up here, understanding that Chichu is there first and then expecting the second peak.
So taking Cloudburst, that dart.
Ano, kaya pa, B?
Kaya pa, te. Shit, si Harry Potter na-stress na.
For the player in the open.
Hindi nagagalit. Katulad ni
Right.
Galit yan kanina. Di galit yan kanina.
Timeout taken here by
Oo.
EDG.
Win or lose sila sa bind.
Coach After understands
Coach na ano.
this is
EDG.
really where they need to put a stop to this
Visit
run
si
by
JD.
Loud.
This is their year.
Yeah,
Alala mo,
9
babe.
to
Tulog mo
6
na yan.
tournament lives
Gising ka pa daw.
on the line. Year on the
Alala mo
line.
daw, tulog ako.
Nag-date pa sila kanina eh.
Con. Look at that. We
Ikaw
are
daw yung malala
getting
eh.
some info.
Bakit?
Ano, 5 na
Find so
natulog.
much value out of it. You can hear the, you can imagine the conversation taking place right now.
Uy, di,
Settling.
naglaro kami
One
alas
of
6
calm.
na. After ng game pala.
They're still in this fight.
7
EDG are.
ba in 8?
Init na, Giovanni.
But you can see actually,
Init talaga. Wala siya
Ay,
aircon eh.
perhaps feeling the stress of the moment are the members of EDG.
Hindi sinarado niya kasi may kita na naman siya ng ano. May kita na naman natin
Hindi
liwanag.
uso sa kanila yung cortina, no?
Hindi.
Next time, yan ang ano, yan yung regalo nyo.
May regalo na kami sa Christmas party sa'yo, Giovanni.
Kami ang hindi kailangan ng ano. Gusto mo ba?
Cortina. Yan, bigyan mo si
Bigay mo na
Giovanni.
lang, babe.
Puro blinds kasi.
Oo, yung cortina
Bigyan mo na
niya.
yung cortina.
Wala kayong cortina. Ano ba kayo?
Ano?
Wala kaming cortina pero puro kami blinds. Ikaw, wala ka lahat.
Kami, wala kami cortina?
Asking to deny the info feed, prevent that early peek, early dash in.
Sorry.
They don't even test the possibility of the op on the extremities.
Orbed and code
Sorry.
the plant. They'll break the code now. They can play post.
Mas ano kasi
Droning, the alarm bot spotted. Les is going to be the first one here. Tuiz is not far off. Les has to be careful. Kawanzin is now showing up. He has no flashes though. So it's just going to be a dry gunfight. There's the fault line. Les, patient, Les waiting. And he falls. Kawanzin trying to do what his teammate could not, but in the face of the paranoia, can't deliver either. Louder falling apart here, but it's a 2v2. The op in the hands of Kong delivers. Aspas, can you do it by yourself?
No, wag.
Dodging
Tol,
the
wag.
flash, staying alive. The line is held by Kong. Smoggy getting it to half, and there it is. He found the tornado. Aspas, can he do it? Forward the oh my gosh! Aspas, the Red Bull clutch!
Kinis muna niya bago niya
Kiss muna sila.
Beso.
Happy Valentine's.
Star duelists. Would you believe it if I told you they met in middle?
Then nag-whip si ano, then nag-whip si ano,
I
yung
can't
unang
even
bala
believe
niya.
that. The timing of this swing by Aspas
Yung swing
right
naman
when
din
Kong
niya
leaves the angle.
Sabi niya, hi kumare. Ganun.
Sinampal-sampal niya sa
He can't even believe it. He can't
Ako
even
nasasampal.
believe it.
Ako sasampal pa.
Ako na, B.
Kabila.
I mean, the money's still so good for Loud. EDG is on the ropes as you could possibly fathom.
Kong pushing through the cascade, falls to Tuiz.
I mean, an aggressive attempt at a play.
Oh no.
Aspas just getting another kill. And this might be the final verse of
Ooh!
the EDG song for the year as Aspas continues to hunt for blood.
Hindi. 4K lang.
4 kills now.
Tangina nagwawala siya.
Wala na. Ina nyo OP ka pa, B Kiss-kiss muna tayo, B.
Chichu now in this impossible 1-on-5, and there you go, the Prime Gaming flawless by Loud. And you could just feel now just all of the air just sucked out of this room.
Mahaba pa.
1-on-2 that
Mahaba pa
Aspas
laban,
won.
te. Pwede pang mahabol yan.
No timeouts in the bank here for EDG.
Kahit naman loud ako, pero di ba magaling yung ano eh.
The judge
Di pang OP ba si Kangkang?
It certainly was that.
Oo nga no.
Uy, kina mo.
Saving yun, may pang-OP yun.
Ang ina mo, manahimik ka dyan.
No, bot frag ka.
This is where EDG absolutely needs to win this round. Kangkang with the op on this B site. It has been the weak point for the
Si
team.
Booster magaling naman, B.
That's big.
He's going for more.
Oh, he hit him. Oh, he did.
Oh,
You're
yun na,
right.
sabi na eh. Putang ina nyo, huwag yung bibigyan ng OP yan.
Death blow.
Oh.
Turning the flash as Kawanzin punches back.
Chichu now up close in garage. This will be Trailblaze.
Naku, makakagat ka.
He has a lot to do here.
You're right. Oh, but Kong is there to help. He's already gotten 3 on the round. Blades online for the next. This would be such a ridiculous comeback if they can pull it off.
OP
But
lang
for
talaga
now,
ano
a
solusyon
round
yung
at a
OP
time.
nga
EDG gets 7.
It's a common saying, that round by round.
May kita naman yun kung may OP.
That's exactly what EDG has to be telling the
Ikaw,
right now.
makikita mo
They
te.
get no more
nalaman.
from Coach
Nakita ko
After. This is all
Nanood ka eh.
the players now.
Tanga naman po,
We're
tanga.
gonna need a lot
Naganon
more
ka,
star
Sam.
players. This off round by Kangkang's exactly
Ay,
what they
sorry.
needed to get back into this game.
Lo. Oh, di ba? Puro kasi go kanina. Oh.
A C-file like this before, Doug. This is going to be a banging round. Look at the setup from the Omen. The Reckoning will certainly be used on this take. This is a very difficult hold, but with the bridge here, this is very possible.
Well, it's just the fault line. But you're right, the Reckoning invested. Howdem going aggressive, he pushes into smoke.
No way, no way,
Howdem slipping. Loud, no idea of what just hit him.
Grabe yun!
Unreal.
Real Prime Gaming flawless. They get the reckoning out of Loud. Just like that. They are absolutely storming back into this game.
The money, though, that Loud have, you see it on your screen right now very quickly. I'm sure we're going to see a replay. There's still so much depth.
Galing ni Omen sa smoke lang lumalaban.
That they can take a couple of these shots from EDG and still be standing.
Tangina mo.
But honestly, what I just saw in their faces shows that they aren't even thinking about that.
No.
They're not worried about what's on the other side. They're not worried about the money that Loud have amassed. All of a sudden, the spark of hope.
Kongkong now on this long angle, they're gonna chance the cascade yet again. The Dart gets a ping and nobody is here.
Ayan na, tama na, ayan na, B. Ayan na, gago. Lista mo na sa, lista mo na.
Does Smoggy invest the Rolling Thunder here?
Lista na, oo. Sinunitihan mo ngayon, wala, di ba?
Much like the reckoning in the previous round.
The Cypher setup on B. On C lets them know what's happening in this area, but the cam will go down right now. Sadak has entered Garage.
Oh, and I love this. I love this pivot back from Loud. With Sadak's presence being found in C, they commit back to A.
In an Omen Breach setup, though, Doug, this is very unlikely to be checked.
You have to clear Smoggy here.
This is very unlikely to be cleared.
No paranoia.
Oh my god!
Flash. Oh my gosh!
Smoggy, I love you.
Smoggy gets 3!
Pala para sa EDGB.
Another disaster for Loud!
Tangina, hindi pala sa ano yun.
Ang loud talaga.
Sadak has to clutch it back by himself!
Si Sadak?
Nako po,
Can he do so, the leader, the veteran for Loud?
Putang inaabin ako.
Already the recipient of hardware, but cannot commit this time around!
Ay, na si John.
Pag si Sadak, GG's na.
Can you believe it? What is that
Dapat binigay
hold?
mo na lang sa kanya.
What is that hold?
Time out muna.
Unreal. Look at this play from the corner. I don't know how he gets the third. Whips into the dark cover. Takes out Tui's. And closes it out with the fourth. Man, my teammates are pretty good.
Okay.
Ay na, time out.
Holy.
Time out na, time out.
We absolutely have a game here.
And
the timeout coming from Fraud here. This is the final timeout from these coaches. After does also get the chance to talk with his team right now. Honestly, he has to be congratulating them on keeping this game alive. The Hunter's Fury on nobody is really nothing to be messed with here on this defensive half. It is great at stalling out plants. Loud has not done a very good job of breaking all this Cypher util, and truthfully, one of the few weaknesses they've found is on the B side. And I think at this point, EDG is very aware. I would love to know what Fraud is saying right now in this timeout. We've seen it earlier in this tournament take the gloves off and take dry fights. And it worked in spades. Can you do that against a team like EDG?
I don't know, especially with Kongkong having the op. You mentioned the Hunter's Fury a couple of moments ago. For nobody, that's in play, and this time the op is mid.
Mid siya.
And it's not just that. I mean, Haodong is here, Chichu's close by.
Nobody is on this side.
Sige, silip ka.
Looks like it could be fake pressure, but I will warn you. This site is lost with this Viper's Pit against the Harbor Viper. The retake, the chances of a win for EDG at that moment plummet. The chances of winning a round with that Viper Pit on this A site, and that's what Loud's aiming to do right now. I think Loud right now are very scared of an aggression across this map. They don't know what to expect right now from EDG. The dart clears long right now, gets no info. You can see that's kind of confusing Chichu. He's leaning towards this A site. Like we're going into that B pop here, and Kongkong is here.
The op, he's been here the whole time. He was patient at the beginning. Crosshair jiggling.
Nice one.
Calvin destroys him. So dependent on that, and it finds no value. Can the rest of EDG deliver? Tui's gets a spike down. Nobody investing the Hunter's Fury. Tui's falls.
Bobo pa rin ang
They're gonna have to get through the pit. Is there an additional flank?
Itong isang puta.
It's all going to be a flood out onto the site. The paranoia is good to at least get Aspas. But Smoggy falls.
No, si Aspas.
Aspas looking to deal with him, and he can't. Nobody on the counter. Les still playing from far back. Sadak still with the pit up. All of the onus on EDG right now as Kalazine has gotten 3. Chichu, the 4th. He's so weak, he's going to fall. Hadong on the flank, and there's nothing found. Loud stay alive. They get to series point.
Loud absolutely silence.
Napatay niya si Kawan.
This EDG comeback.
Ay, napatay niya si ano?
Huge
Si Kangkang. Mag-OP ka ulit, B.
And he, of all people, the young initiator onto this team.
Nipis.
Joined after champions last year, taking the shoes with someone like Saucy. Insane round from Cowanzine right there. Topping the scoreboard with like less and also right behind him. Loud now going back into this A default. The Dart again getting a lot of value here for EDG.
Gago din nila kaya yung A eh.
That's becoming so troublesome, and we've seen the punish a couple of times, but not this time around.
Doug, I think they're going to take the gloves off and walk up dry here. This is a Loud-esque play. Is Kangkang going to be aware of this? They are ready to fight. They are ready to brawl. Four players in the most ridiculous high-low I have ever seen.
Smoggy has his fault line back.
I-on mo yung camera. Ay, yung camera yung ano mo.
Hands of Kangkang. Remember, Cowanzine destroyed him in the previous round. Spotted now. Has to dash away.
Ay, puta, galing.
Do they go fast off this? Kangkang on the reappraise. And this time it's Sadak.
Nagagas na kayo.
Tapos nata. Lista na.
Hindi pa. Si Chichu pa.
Smogy pa, gago.
Gago, magaling yan sa ano eh.
Smogy pala.
Si Chichu.
Yan.
Ayun na nga, poke ng ina, ayun na nga,
From Smoggy! He's got the ult! And that's, I mean, there's nowhere for them to go!
23 seconds, the Omen blind is here!
Look at where the spike is, man! It's out of reach! There's no way for them to scoop it up!
Layo na spike.
No time.
What a play from Smoggy!
10 seconds left.
I mean, the 3K effectively secured the round, but the Rolling Thunder was just icing on the
May pera
cake.
naman sila eh. May pera.
This A site just seems owned by Smoggy right now. The plays coming out of this man deep into this game. The tournament lives on the line. After their star offer falls like this to Sadak, holding that
Salo silang natuwa.
Look at this.
So steady. So
Di dapat
cold.
ganyan ka daw mag-breach.
Diyan ka daw dapat, di ba ni mag-breach?
Ganun mo dapat ako mag-breach. Okay. Sorry.
Sa Haven sa Haven.
Sorry. Wala. Alas na pink.
He's past it, but he's so weak. Oh, they don't know!
Nice.
Dart in the flash!
Nakadalawa na siya.
EDG's utility combo in Avian is so good, and they're finally punishing Loud for it.
Loud is so persistent. They continue at this A site. Can they take it?
Smoggy once more. Sadak falls. Aspas and less.
Siya yung virus siya dyan, virus.
To potentially stifle this comeback from EDG. Smoggy on the restep. Stays alive. There's the paranoia.
Last man ni Smoggy, B.
That's another two. Going down. EDG still alive.
O, di ba wala kayong pera? Meron pa din.
What is it made out of?
Dude, there's no way they go back.
How can they not break this dart?
It's like a ticking time bomb, though. How many times have we talked about it? There's got to be a combo that they're using with the dart. Because you see it now, all three of them were flashed.
Oh my god, incredible initiator, Yuto, coming out of EDG. And they laid the trap all half long, and at the least expecting time, Kangkang pushes up short A. Loud now retreating back into this middle of the map default. Early garage control, the dog comes out. The trip is already broken.
Bye.
Uy!
Again.
Nice one.
Can magic happen once more? Oh my god, he did not clear it. Such a heavy investment. Life on the line to get the lockdown down.
Pa-plant mo kay Skype. Ay, hindi pala. Plant mo kay Jet.
They've lost C.
Doug, this is the reckoning coming online for Tui's.
Gago,
He's waiting for this
si
flood.
Smaggy.
Daming ult.
Ult ng
The
bayan,
orb is down spawn, the cove is in garage.
Yun na lang yun.
This is where Loud close out games.
Kaya.
Is this it? Are these the final touches on an
Nah,
outrageous
tapos na.
series?
Big
Comes in
time.
on the swing. He's gotten 3 on the road. Smoggy only gets 1. Loud defend the throne. They take down EDG in the rematch. And advance.
They are so elated.
Buhat ka lang eh.
That took everything out of Loud. The Harbor Vipers finally coming into play again. This team proved they can literally be anything with this comp. They're currently only running it here on Haven. I don't think EDG has seen a style like that, so you have to give them credit for how close this game was.
What a fight, bro.
What a fight that was.
EDG, an outrageous performance. Pushing that to the most extreme possible limits. And it's an unfortunate goodbye.
Ay, depress ako.
Loud. I mean, talking about taking a hit in the chin.
Perfection.
Still being standing when all is said and
Nasukan mo
done.
na naman yung mga Chinese eh.
This Loud team is special, Doug. They are a special team. I think a lot of people doubted them coming into Champions. They lost that opening game to DRX. They have bounced off of rock bottom like
Fanatic
a
Cloud.
rocket.
Eto na.
Again, we've got to talk about the
Rematch.
performance of Tokyo and all of the questions around this roster. And then you start off this series, as you were
Tapos
saying, you know,
nanalo yung
what
DRX, no?
Where have they gone? They're back.
They are back, and they're really ready to make a run in the lowers.
Again, defending world champs, still in the tournament. They've still got to fight in this thing. We're going to throw it down to the analyst desk to break down that series.
Thank you very much, you guys. What a series
Oi.
that was, and what a way for Loud to be able to hang on, and most importantly, Mimi, close it out before OT.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible game. It looked like he was going to be able to just hold on cleanly after that first half of this Harbor Viper comp, but they get so tested there by EDG. But still, closing things out, a chance to defend the title, a chance to go on another run, but unfortunately that means EDG going home in the most tragic fashion, a round away.
Yeah, that is heartbreaking again. This is a team that has come so close to their own goals and objectives in these global events, and they just cannot get it over that tiny finish line. Multiple times now this has happened. Yeah, they're going to be kicking themselves over this entire situation. Just one step away, realistically, coming down to that final round. I cannot believe how close it was, but credit to them for pushing Loud when they've been in this championship form. I think I have to give an immense amount of credit to EDG.
Pumasok pa lang para manlait.
When I would argue, I think that the competition is only Tokyo, and they are still putting up the similar performance. I think that has to be respected. They're not going to think about that right now, but they hopefully will reflect upon this tournament and think, yeah, the competition was elevated so much more. So many more teams came online, and we still managed to put up a fight to some of the best of the best.
And this is the tournament where I think we really showed that it wasn't just Kong. It was Smoggy bringing them back into overtime.
Yeah.
It was Howdong continuing to improve as an IGL. Every event these guys attend. It was a great run from them. But still, I think this is another moment where you have to start believing in Loud. You can't underestimate these guys. They won last year for a reason, excuse me. And it looks like it's the same narrative again. You nearly win the first tournament, you bomb out of the second, and you come back so strong at Champions. If the script repeats itself, we could have a back-to-back championship winner.
Yeah, we've never seen it before. I feel like this year has been about record breaking. You know, we saw the first team to do back-to-back, so why not have a defending champion here as well? And speaking of Loud, down on the stage, Paperthin is standing by with Tui's for the Verizon post-match interview.
Wait lang, sagutin nyo muna sa AK.
Thank you so much, Yinsu. I am standing here with Tui's of Loud, just coming off of their 2-1 victory over EDG. First of all, big congrats, my man. A great match here today. But I want to start off with the very first map, Bind. EDG comes out with something completely unexpected.